Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Tuesday night edition of Gaming After Dark podcast. I am your host, Mr. Boom Boom Kaboom. I am in the room. We are ready to go. This is going to be one dynamite show tonight. As always, we have our incredible panel. Let's start out. Well, I guess we should always do our guest first and then get to the panel. We have our guest tonight making his return to the podcast, the one, the only, the charismatic, funny, witty, and just an awesome all-around guy. Really good to play games with. The amazing Cerebral Paul. What's up, Paul?
Hey, everybody. Thank you for having me. And good. That means you talk so nice about me means the check cleared. All right. I was worried about that thing. Thought I was going to bounce to the moon. I just been playing a lot of games, doing a little Medium. I've been streaming the Medium, and I get a message from my mother who watches my streams.
Yep.
And she says, well, I'm going to be out of town for a couple of weeks. So can you wait till I get back to finish playing the game?
Well, that's kind of
cool.
Now
I have to wait 3 weeks before I can finish the Medium.
That's not cool, but the fact that your mom wants to watch you play it is cool.
Yeah. You know, mom asks you to do something, you do it.
That's right.
So that's about what's up with me.
Good mama right there. Yeah. What else is new? That's pretty much it. Just playing the Medium, and you liking the game pretty much, or?
Oh yeah, I love the game. I really can't wait to get back to it. I did find out from watching somebody else that I missed one of the early collectibles. And to get all the achievements, you have to collect everything and do everything, and on a single run through. So you can't go back and play catch up. So if you miss something at the beginning of the game, you got to go back all the way to the beginning of the game.
There you go, guys.
Want to get all the achievements.
And the Medium is on Game Pass. If you have Game Pass like most people do, no excuses for not at least giving that game a try. I heard it's not bad. So there we go. Let's get over to the panel. We have the always incredible, the man who is loud, he's proud, he's my Canadian brother from another mother. It is the middle-aged game guy.
Yes, good evening, Noof. Good evening, Chad, panel, Paul, Titan, everybody. Yes, I'm super excited to be here. And yes, I had a great week of gaming. I am maybe an hour away from platinuming Spider-Man Miles Morales, a great game. And I also finished the Medium on the Xbox side of things. And then I will be going back to Call of Duty once they get their shit together with all their bugs and all that stuff. I've been hearing there's some problems with the new Zombies Firebase map. So, but anyways, I'll get back into that shortly. But anyways, we got some great topics tonight. We're going to have a great show. Let's get right into it.
And how long did it take you to finish the Medium? Roughly.
It took, over the course of 3 days, I think it took me about, I would say about 8 hours, maybe 9 hours.
Okay, so it's average. It's not overly long.
I got about 85% of the collectibles as well. Yeah. So I literally missed like 2 of them, but I'm not going to go back and play them. Just like, like Paul was saying, like you got to go back and whatever. And I'm like, I got most of the achievements for the game. I think I got like 800 plus achievements. Right. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm not going back. And the game was awesome though. I love the story. I loved it. I loved a lot of things about it. There's a couple technical glitches here and there. It wasn't like perfect, but I mean, it was a great game. It was a lot of fun. It gave me 3 days of enjoyment, and that hey, good enough, man. I had a good time, and now I'm setting my sights on Little Nightmares 2.
Nice. And do you think that the length was appropriate, or do you think that's the kind of game that you would have enjoyed more if it was like 25 hours? Because sometimes, when you play those 8 or 9 hours or a good 8 or 9 and you're like, yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm done with it. Yeah. And then it's some that you're just like, if you're thinking, man, if this game was like 30 hours, I'd never get to the end of it because the first 8 or 9 were pretty much a drag. So how do you feel at that?
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I would say that if this was like a 30-hour game, I probably wouldn't have even finished it. I enjoyed the length as it was. As dirty as that sounds. Sorry, it's just I just said it. Anyways, yeah, about a good solid 8 to 10 hour campaign. I got no problem with that, like with some games. When I'm walking into a game like Assassin's Creed, I know I'm going to be playing for 150 hours, right? So you already kind of have the mindset, or an Elder Scrolls or whatever the hell, right? But if you're going to play something like this, an 8 to 10 hour jaunt is just enough for me to get, to enjoy the game. It didn't overstay its welcome. That's the only thing holding me back from, like, let's say going back to playing Last of Us 2 on the PS5, because it's obviously going to look and play better. And I'd be like, man, I want to go back and revisit it, but I don't want to put in another 35 hours. Like that story was so fucking long that I was just like, come on, man, let's just get to the end here.
I feel that a lot, actually, in a lot of games. I think I have a shorter, attention span than you do, probably, with these story games.
Well, now, let me just say that, too. I think that's why the Medium works so well. It is a story game, and they didn't stretch the story out.
That's right. It didn't overstay its welcome. You know what I mean?
I like that.
And,
I like that.
So, and because it was like Paul is saying, because it was almost strictly story based, there weren't any real like combat mechanics or anything like that would keep you occupied. Like, for example, Resident Evil. You could play Resident Evil for 20, 30 hours in a campaign, but there's so many different elements. There are puzzle solving, which of course that had. There's story, there's story beats, but there's also an entire combat system put in there, right? So that keeps you busy. You know, getting new weapons, upgrading your weapons, you know, dealing with your inventory, putting attachments on your weapons, killing zombies in different ways. There's a whole other gameplay loop in there, right? So that would keep you occupied for 20, 30 hours. Something that's almost strictly story with some puzzle solving elements or even like a walking simulator, 8 to 10, cut it off.
Yep.
All right.
The hardest part, let me just say, since we're talking about the medium, the hardest part I had, and middle-aged game guy can speak to this, is some of the sequences where you have to run and you have the fixed camera. That was really difficult for me. You go back and watch my stream, I actually dropped quite a few F-bombs trying to get through some of that stuff.
Is that
with your mom watching?
Yes, with my mother watching.
Is it like one of those things, like, because I remember the old games, like the old Resident Evil, so when the screen turned and it was a fixed camera, right was left and left was right? Is it that?
Exactly, that's exactly what it is, just like the old games, because this is very much an homage to the old games. From the way it's done, to the fixed camera, to the light on her chest, it's very much a callback to the old war games.
Like the original Silent Hill kind of
That's
vibe.
interesting. I wonder kind of why they went back with that, unless that was a homage to it, but I don't know. But anyway, we're going to cut you guys off.
As much as they did, it's an homage.
Just like a bar at 2:00, we're going to cut you guys off because we got more interest to do. We got the man who brings the common back to sense, the other loudmouth on the podcast, Mr. Titan Drago. What's up, bro? And I swear to God, if you say you've been playing Smite again, I got a funny feeling Tony Baloney is going to come after you tonight.
Oh, he's coming after him anyway.
No, he was playing Smite. He was playing. I saw on my Xbox.
I can't hide.
50 new games of Titan Smite.
It's funny. I talk how I have a short attention span for story-based games, right? But I've gone up the middle lane in Smite over 1,000 times, But anyways, what's up, everyone? It's tonight's show. We got some good topics for you, and you know what? We're once again gonna see just how low humanity can go. Maybe one of these days we'll wake up and start exiling people from the U.S. that have proven they don't deserve to live here, or whatever country these hackers, living in their mother's basement, wherever they reside. But I'm ready. I can't wait to do the Halo tournament for the podcasters in the community march, and I'm ready to get on the show.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit as we end the show. We'll just kind of give people a heads up on. I don't know the full details. I haven't really got into it yet, but yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's give a quick shout out to the chat. The amazing chat here is once again, Lady AF is in the house. We got Hip Noise. What's going on? General Spartan, Crispy Rambo, Crazy Greek Dude, Juno's 23, the Dr. Doggy Dog 420. We got General Spartan in the house. Timothy Dixon. We got Spider-Man 356. We got Dot. We got Fun Speculation. We got the Ice Pirate here, brand new to the podcast. Welcome, Ice. Glad you could be here. G-Bone 117. A Crazy Greek Dude. Our Rob. Man, we got a good crew up in here already tonight. I think 42 in the house, and it's good. I'm glad you guys got here early because, in case you forgot, we're doing a game giveaway this week, courtesy of the panel here at Gaming After Dark. We're going to be giving away a physical copy, yes, physical, guys, of the Immortals Phoenix Rising. How weird would it be for Noof Nukem to be giving away a digital copy, So, but we're going to do the physical. That way nobody's left out in the cold. Hopefully you got a disk drive, and that way I can also send it to the US or the UK or whoever the fuck might win it. So hopefully most of you guys in the chat don't have a copy because that'll make you more excited. If you do, whatever, it's all good. So we're going to be doing some anagrams. If you guys are not familiar with anagrams, they're basically words scrambled. So how it could be 4 letters, it could be 10 letters, but you have to unscramble them. So all I can say that everything in tonight's anagrams has got to do with Ubisoft. Since we're giving away Ubisoft game, we're going to be doing Ubisoft anagrams. So I hope you guys know your Ubisoft shit because that will certainly help you a lot. So what we're going to do, and here's how it goes. Throughout Game Pass, Game Pass. Because Juno said it in the chat. Give out Game Pass, he said. So what we're going to do, guys, is after the first topic, I'm going to drop an anagram. Okay, there's going to be 4 throughout the show. Whoever gets it right first and spells it right will move on to the final. that means there's potentially going to be 4 finalists, and from those 4 finalists, they're going to have a chance to get the last anagram to win the game. So I think that's pretty cool. So that's how it's going to be. We're going to try this out shortly, and the guys will be watching the chat very closely to see who gets it right and spells it right, that sort of thing. And there's a clue for the first 4, no clue for the final one. So that's how it's going to go. So I hope you guys are ready. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. So here we go. Let's get into the first chat. We got a few EA kind of topics tonight. The first one's not going to take us too long, but we're going to pound it out. EA acquires Glu Mobile for $2.1 billion, one of the biggest game acquisitions ever, and certainly one in the most recent days. We've seen a lot of this lately, which is one of the reasons why I think Google said, fuck it, we're not even going to try, because everybody's snapping up everybody. If you guys forgot, not only is it the big ZeniMax Bethesda thing from Microsoft recently, but EA also bought Codemasters, so they're shoring up the racing division, and now they're trying to shore up the mobile gaming with this little purchase. Now, if you're not familiar with Glu Mobile, because I know I'm not certainly really familiar with it, they're the guys who made Dinner Dash, which you may have heard, Disney Sorcerer's Arena, WWE Universe, Tap Sports Baseball, the crazy ass Kim Kardashian Hollywood game is apparently sold like gangbusters, Deer Hunter, and a few other ones. So it's a big business. They've been doing really well, and EA again is trying to corner the market, so to speak. And we'll let everybody have a chance to just kind of weigh in on this. Do you think this means bigger, better things to come for EA, or is this mostly a mobile focused deal? How is it going to work? Perhaps they'll bring some of their franchises down through. I don't know, but let's get the panel in here, then we'll get Paul to weigh in on it. Titan, you can always have the floor first on this one if you like, or you can hand it off to somebody else.
Just something real quick, and maybe I'll jump in later. I was hoping Microsoft would acquire EA. You know, they've got these deals going on. EA is pretty much in Game Pass pretty much EA plays in there. So I thought, I was kind of hoping for maybe take a step up, get closer, etc., and eventually acquire EA. But seeing how EA is making these billion-dollar acquirements, I think we could throw the whole EA under the Microsoft umbrella out of the window now. Mm-hmm. So because I would love to see EA under Microsoft, right? Like, how great would a company would EA be without the greed of trying to earn as much money as they can, and they're all about stocks, and when their stock plummets, that's the only time they act right. It'd be nice to see them under control, like and I don't see anyone else controlling developers as well as Microsoft, and especially seeing that's the platform that I play on. So, but it's scary because like you're saying, these little dumb mobile games, there's people out there, and a lot of people that pay a lot of money on these dumb mobile games. You're constantly, how many ads have you guys seen on your phone, like on Twitter, promoted tweets, and even if it's not a promoted tweet, like just commercials in the middle of watching YouTube videos about these things,
Yeah.
So it's everywhere. So they're obviously making a ton of money, and them acquiring little Glu Mobile for 2.1 billion. Boy, oh boy, they're like, that's gonna be silly, because they're gonna make that money back in no time. And then EA is gonna have more firepower. It's like, man, should Microsoft be worried about EA over Luna and all these other companies? Like, I think EA is the scariest one.
It's crazy cash in mobile right now. It's a great way to subsidize your other franchises as well, taking pulling from one pot to pay the other one. So I never know how that's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, it's going to be another huge source of steady income for EA. Maybe if they have that, maybe it'll actually be good. Maybe since they have this steady flow of mobile gaming income, that they'll screw their heads on right for Battlefield 6.
I'm sorry. Did that come out?
I mean, here's to hoping, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, mobile business is absolutely huge. Meg, how do you feel on the whole thing? This is like, is even an article that you even give two rats about, or does it think it have bigger implications?
No, I checked it out, and I don't think it has any bigger implications for EA, because I think that their actual console and PC gaming division is completely separate from this. This is basically just a cash cow. And if you think about, like, for example, these mobile games, just like you said, this is why Xbox is trying to get into this. Oh, not trying. They've already gotten into this xCloud situation because of the ease of access to be able to play these games. Now, you're not going to sit there and play competitive Call of Duty on your phone. That's ridiculous. I mean, I've tried, and you just can't do it. I even tried to play a solo zombies with the console streaming on my cell phone. I'm like, all right, but my old eyes can't see. All right, so I need like a big screen in front of me. But anyways, young kids can. But the thing is, they're not looking for young kids. They're not looking for gamers like us, the chat, people who listen to the show later. They're looking for the guys that are sitting in their cubicle at work, farting around with the Tri-Towers, solitaire, okay? Or you've got like the housewife with 3 kids running around, and she's sitting there playing like whatever farm game, okay, and raising crops and all this bullshit. And those games make a lot of money. Now, funny I mentioned actually the solitaire. I play a Tri-Tower solitaire because way back in the days when I used to go to the bars before COVID, you used to go to the bars and they used to have those touch screens on the bars. Remember those? And you put like a loony inside. You play like Tri-Towers, like, whatever, all those little games.
Oh, yeah. Me and my wife, we've made it like our first date was at a bar and we did one of those things.
Right. Aren't they awesome? And then they even have those ones where like they have the two of the same pictures and you have to find the differences and all that stuff.
Yep.
Well, this is a translation to the home version of that. Right. And so that's what all these games are. And the thing is, they give you X amount of credits to do these kind of things. And all of a sudden you're like, oh man, this game's a lot of fun. It's kind of addicted. And then all of a sudden they just drop a little, well, for $2.99, you can get another 1,000 credits. And then if someone's really desperate and going, God damn it, I got no credits. I got to wait 2 more days to build up enough credits to play. And then they'll drop that $2.99 because it's just $2.99. Multiply that by millions of people. Look what you got. The other game I play, actually, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I don't know if anybody else plays that. What a fantastic game. I love it. I've been playing it for 5 years on my phone. I haven't spent a dime. That's why it's taken me 5 years to get so far. But that game, I checked it out when I saw this article new for tonight's show. In 2020, the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes mobile game on phone made $924 million. Let that sink in for just a second, folks. And in the first month of 2021, up until January, they crossed the $1.1 billion in revenue from one mobile game. And guess who owns them? EA. It's an EA game.
Ugh.
So this is what I'm talking about. So now what they're doing is they're going to bolster. Obviously, they see that they made $1.1 billion off of one mobile game. Why not bolster your studios there, okay, and get production up, and you can make even more money. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. I'm not going to jump in on it. But I certainly don't pay for anything. I don't buy crystals and all this bullshit, whatever. So like, what I mean? Like, there's some whales in those games, and they'll spend like literally thousands of dollars, and that's what they're banking on. So why not do it? I mean, this is just an investment at the end of the day. That's all I see.
Miles in the chat, he said it amazes me that people spend a ton of real money for fake in-game currency. What amazes me is like, the cost for like a skin or an outfit in like Fortnite or something, that's more expensive than like my real shirts on my back. That's man, that's what drives me nuts.
Dude, I bought Kratos, okay, because I just wanted to have something other than like your standard character. I bought Kratos for Fortnite because I play with my son, and I bought one song. It's one song by Dua Lipa. I thought it was hilarious. And Kratos does this. I'm going to post it on Twitter because it's so fucking funny. But anyway, it cost me $27.
Ouch.
Yeah, man.
$27 for one skin and one song. Okay?
Yeah.
So imagine the people who have like a stable of characters, how much they spent in battle passes or just buying skins and then buying those V-Bucks and all this other bullshit. It's the same thing. Rocket League, same thing. And so now EA sees the profit. So why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I spent $8 to buy Rambo for Mortal Kombat the other night. Like I spent a lot of money for one character, but goddamn, I needed Rambo.
Rambo's
what I'm saying?
Awesome. That's worth it.
Yeah, I just finished watching the first movie today, right before we came out.
Nice. First Blood's a classic. I love it.
Absolutely.
Good shit. Okay, just right before we get to Cerebral Paul, I did drop the first anagram in the chat. I probably should just wait and say it first and then type it. But dropped anagram number 1. It was a popular Ubisoft game, and the letters were ELISTELPSLNC with 12 letters. And Sparhawk gets the first one correct by saying Splinter Cell. Didn't take him too long to get it either. So congratulations, Sparhawk. You go to the final. You cannot guess any more anagrams until the final happens before the end of the show. So Hank,
All right,
congratulations, Sparhawk.
Congratulations.
First guy in the bank, and there you go. Cerebral Paul, how do you feel about this little thing? Obviously, like I said, it's kind of a small thing, but a big thing. You know what I mean?
I think it's a big thing. And by the way, remind me later in the show to ask Tony what he thinks about that Kim Kardashian game, because I know he's probably thrown a lot of money on that.
Yeah, he probably has.
But that's the big thing. I can guarantee you EA saw, ooh, we can do microtransactions there without taking as much crap. And they're right. They will make a buttload of money.
Yeah, man. When you gotta walk a tightrope when you're doing that on console, man. Like your company takes billions of hits. You know, you try and get too sly with the loot boxes and the loot crates and things like that. But yeah, like mobile, who's paying attention to that?
Yeah, I know. Nobody cares. Nobody.
You know, it's funny because a lot of us don't really care because we're more of the hardcore type. But the fact of the matter is the mobile market is too big to ignore.
Right.
And the mobile market, if you can do it properly, you can subsidize a lot of the bigger franchises that you have in your portfolio by the crazy amounts of money you're making on mobile. Because mobile, the key advantage for the mobile is it takes way less to create a mobile game. They lead smaller teams. Most of the games are like cross-platform or multi-plat. So like they're basically on the iPhone, they're on the Android, they're on various things. They can be played on almost any device, which gives them mass market appeal.
Right.
They're popular in almost any country in the world. It's not just tied to one country. And there's so many different things. There's so much variety in a mobile. It's like the indie game circuit, right? And that's pretty much kind of what a lot of mobile games are. And they make huge coin because it's such an easy investment. What, probably 80% of the mobile market now has got like the free to play model, and everybody gets in the door, and then of course you spend $1 here and $1 there and $1. It doesn't sound like a lot, but boy to hell, when you got a million, when you got 1 million or 2 million people getting on a game and they start to spend $1 here and $1 there, holy shit, you're making coin. You paid for your game probably in the first week, and the rest is just bank. And you see how many knockoffs are coming out to Candy Crush and knockoffs to what do you call it, like Attack on Clash on Titan or whatever the hell it is. Like it's like for every good game that comes out, there's now 20 different knockoffs. It's confusing, but nobody cares because nobody's paying for half it. They just get a skin for this and a skin for that. I think it's a huge deal, like I said, because when EA's has a big AAA game that say falters, this subsidy, this division kind of can pick up the slack. They can kind of support each other, coexist, and it gives that smaller publisher now massive publishing power to go in with big titles and stuff. I think it's a big thing for EA, regardless of how it might seem insignificant to a lot of people.
Well, the other thing is too, and you mentioned the Star Wars game that you play, Mag. Let's see, that had one thing going for it. Star Wars, you automatically have a fan base draw of millions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all know
what got
that
me in the game.
Star Wars could be a crap. It could be a crap game, and people are going to play it at least initially.
Yeah, and you know what? You're right. You're right. But you know, the thing is, there are a lot of people out there who love Kim Kardashian.
Right.
Right. There are millions of people around the world who love, I don't know why, but they love Kim Kardashian. Right. So that's a huge draw too.
And
you know,
the
think
other
about
thing
it that
is,
way.
And
then you got that fucking game, Raid Shadow Legends. You know, when you watch every single YouTube video, play Raid Shadow Legends. Those games have tens of millions of gamers on it. Well, gamers, excuse me, you know, whatever. Mobile fiddlers, I like to call them.
Yeah.
That's about it. But I mean, they're there. You know what I'm saying? They're there and they're spending money. And the thing is, this is why the cell phone thing works so well for people, because a lot of those things, they either have the Samsung Pass or whatever. You just stick your thumb on it and it buys.
Yeah.
Right. Or they have a deal with their provider. It just goes on your cell phone bill.
Yep.
And that you don't even notice it. Like, who notices it? Like, I get the same cell phone bill all the time. Like, Like who's looking to see it was an extra $2.99?
I wonder how many parents have been on the hook for hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars from their kids already.
I can guarantee you a lot. I
had to put a lock on my son's Xbox because he was accidentally. He was only 7 when it happened. He didn't realize that it was costing real money and it was charging my credit card. I had to call Microsoft and get them to reverse the charges, which they did. Because he was buying all this stuff on Fortnite. And I'm like, whoa. So now they have to input a 6-digit code to be able to access my credit card. So yeah, imagine a cell phone, right? Yep. Same deal.
My only fear is I have a major distrust of EA. Hopefully they do this right. They don't, throw out crap just for the sake of throwing out crap and making quick bucks, which they very well could do. But we'll see what they do with it. I can see.
Yeah, but like I said, I think this is all part of the reason. I think Google actually kind of got a little bit spooked because I think Google went in thinking Stadia was going to be a lot easier than they did. And they didn't realize the kind of investment it takes, the kind of tech wizards they need, the amount of studio people they need, and of course, when you got people with the bank accounts of EA, and I'm not saying that Google don't have a big bank account, but when you got a big bank account and you don't have the proper infrastructure to back it up, I mean, Microsoft and Xbox Live, that shit didn't happen overnight. Game Pass didn't happen overnight. This was fostered over the years from since the original Xbox, and people don't understand that. You know what I mean?
I've been telling people along when they say that. I said Xbox. The reason they have the backbone and the infrastructure they have is because they built it over 25 years, literally.
Exactly.
It wasn't an overnight thing. It wasn't, hey, let's go do an online thing. No.
And but they also had a division. Yeah, they created a gaming division within those companies. Now, Google did the same thing, but the problem is Microsoft had already had a 20-year jump on a gaming division, whereas Google said, yeah, let's just do this. And then they're like, oh, wait a minute, we have to create an entire division, build separate buildings just to do this? And then they realized, I always liken it. I've said this a million times, but I always liken the Google Stadia as the dentist who goes to the restaurant and all of a sudden buys one thinking it's just a cash cow. Because I've been in the restaurant business 25 years, and I would always see the rich dentist in the corner, and he goes, wow, this place is always busy. You guys are printing money. I'm going to buy a restaurant. And then they do buy a restaurant. And then all of a sudden they're like, whoa. There's what? There's all this involved? And then it fails within a year. It always happens. So Google Stadia is the exact same thing. By the way, shout out to Ash and Luca and Lady A in the chat, by the way. The two ladies of the house are here. So I just wanted to say hello.
Indeed. Hello to the ladies. Yes, indeed. Hello to the ladies. We got a lot of people up in here. Jesse Derby's in the house tonight. What's up, Jesse Derby? Dragonheart Yobi, my brother. How you doing? He's here. Got to hang out with Dragonheart Yobi earlier with the Retro Renegades. Cool cast over there, man. I always have a good time when they send me the invites. I got to hang out with them for a little bit. It was fun stuff. And that's the thing. Now we know why, and now people should start realizing why everybody, Microsoft takes a little heat. Well, Microsoft can't build their own studios. They buy them. Yeah, fucking why? Because it's a lot easier. It might cost you more up front, but it's a lot easier to buy an established studio that already has the key components in place than trying to bring everybody together and hope the fuck it works.
And a team that works together already. That's
who wins the Super Bowl? Who wins the World Series? Who wins the Stanley Cup? They buy they buy the talent.
That's right.
They buy the talent. Look what just happened in Tampa Bay. Okay. And you got Brady getting his 7th ring there and everything else. They did the same thing. Well, New, if you're Canadian, you would know the 92-93 Blue Jays. Yeah. They literally bought the World Series. They bought all the best players that were on the market, and they bought 2 World Series back to back with talent. It's the same thing in gaming.
Yeah.
You just
in 1990, Jerry Jones bought those Cowboys. That's how they won those rings.
The same thing in gaming. You see what I'm saying? You buy the talent. It's already there. Yep. And it's already established. You just buy it. And that's what Satya Nadella said. He said, why would we build from the ground up? We could just buy it. And he's got, like I said before, he's got that fuck you money, right?
Yeah.
So he could do whatever he wants.
Yeah, Tom Brady's got more Super Bowl rings than I got cock rings. Jesus.
How many do you have?
I was going to say.
Because Brady's got 7 rings. I mean, Jesus, what are you packing there?
Well, I don't have that many. Hey, we knew this show had to go off the rails at some point, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Get it out of the way early.
He feels embarrassed. He's got to buy a couple more now.
I do. That's it. Going to
You
the
know,
store.
you're supposed to take them off when you're done, not just keep adding on. You know.
Nobody steals my packages from Amazon because they vibrate on the steps. Oh shit. What's going on, people? Hypnoise, yeah. What's going on? Custodes X. What's happening? Sean Carpenter, welcome to the show. All right. Any more thoughts on this? We'll kind of move on to the next EA topic, and then we're going to drop another anagram here. Next EA topic. I don't know if you guys heard this one. Obviously, we know that Mass Effect, the trilogy, the what do you call it, the Legendary Edition, is coming out here in May. A lot of people are super excited for it. But one thing that's sort of taken the wind out of the sails, if you haven't been paying attention, is it looks like they're going to be using some censorship in the game. All of those fantastic butt shots of whoever the girl's name is, Miranda or whoever she is, they're like a lot of those fantastic butt shots we've gotten used to over the years are going to be, I guess, sort of edited out, or they're going to change the camera angles, whatever it might be. I know that sounds like a little thing, but for a lot of guys, it's a big thing. No, it's probably not Miranda. I can't even remember the name, but you know what I'm talking about. Bottom line is, it's a rated M game. Why do they need to even touch the original vision of the game? I have no freaking idea. Like, to me, it's not the be all end all. It's not something that I'm going to say I'm not going to buy the game, but I think it's still kind of, the thing is, where does it stop? Where does the end of the line stop? Like, are they taking out all the sex scenes now? Like, is that part of it? You can't have a relationship in the game because, you know, they don't want people kissing each other or what? Like, I don't know, but I think it's kind of stupid. How do you guys feel about it? Any Mass Effect fans on the panel here? Because I know I am.
I won't be buying it because I remember back on the 360, I bought all the Mass Effects on sale. I think they were pre-owned at like a GameStop or something, and I got them. Yep. But I never beat any of them. I played them, never beat any of them. So it is weird that they're scaling back, you know, especially since Cyberpunk. You know,
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, that took maturity in games to a whole new level, you know, and like they didn't catch any flack for that, like, you know. Yeah. So, I saw they were scaling back the ass shots. So, like exactly like you said, like, is there something that I missed? Are they adding on to that?
It's not like they're even naked butt shots. I mean, they still got pants on.
Yeah, they're just close up of pants. Like, I don't even see what's wrong with that.
Oh, I remember that. Now I remember those
sequences.
I remember those sequences. Yeah,
of course you do, Paul.
Yeah, you know, I got a couple of issues though. If they're going to start going down this road, which I really hope they don't. I don't think this is going to be a trend. I really don't, because like, look, at the end of the day, regardless of the fact whether a game is good or not, sex still sells. Okay. Yes. And that's why when you go to restaurants and when you go to bars and you go to nightclubs, you go to whatever, maybe not now, but hopefully soon we can get back to that, you know, and you go whatever. And what do they have? You know, they got all the women that work there. I'm sorry. It's just a fact, guys. Like I said, I've been in the business a long time. They dress them up like hookers. Mm-hmm. Okay. They got the thigh high leather boots on, and they got the little skirts and the tight tops and everything else. And the same thing with video games. Like, what are they going to do next? You know, when you're playing Tomb Raider, what are you doing for 36 to 50 hours? You're staring at Lara Croft's ass. Yeah. Because the camera's behind her. And then a lot of those climbing sequences, whoo! Yeah. Those are good times, right? But anyways, the thing is, if that were a trend, like where does it end? What are you going to do? Mm-hmm. Cover it up? Or is it, you know, Mortal Kombat start taking out all those skimpy bikinis out, which actually they did in the last one. I was like, what the hell happened? What's Milena wearing? An evening gown? Like, what the fuck is this? Like Cinderella all of a sudden? Mm-hmm. But anyways, you know, you see what I'm saying? But anyways,
I don't clothed Mortal Kombat game in history.
It's got to be. And I mean, mind you, at the same time, if you're fighting to the death, you're not showing up in a fucking string bikini. You know what I mean? Let's face it. It's not it's not a South Korean horror movie. So anyways, the point is, I think this is ridiculous. I don't know what the end game of this is. I don't know what the point was. Is it a political statement? Is it like I don't get it. Like, what's the problem? Like, does anybody, like, because they never said anything. They just said that they're taking it out. And I'm like, well, why?
Yeah.
Like, is someone offended?
Yeah, what's next? All the sex scenes are going to have those little blocks all over them. You know what I mean?
The Chinese porn.
Yeah, come on,
it's all pixelated crotches, and I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But it's kind of silly because, like, just like Titan said, look at CD Projekt Red. They were basically like, yeah, hold my beer. And then it's like full all out like intercourse. You know what I mean? Yep. And all those things and the bouncing boobs and all the other bullshit, whatever. And they even showed some crotch shots too. It's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And you could choose your penis size at the beginning of the game. Like, come on. And now EA's like, no butts.
Well, there was that
go
one
to Sunday school.
Well, the one like legitimate sex scene, you know, and like she's like sitting there naked right beside you. What's her name? I can't remember. She smashed, the rock star Johnny after they.
Oh
smashed.
yeah, and you could see the full
Yeah.
Yeah, and
you saw her.
and they had some detail on that cooch too.
That's right. Yep. The whispering eye was in full view. I was watching it too. I was sitting there going, "Is that it? It." No, I'm like, really?
Wow. Titan's putting on his glasses for that one.
Yeah. There's the landing strip. I know where to go. I couldn't believe that. But, hey, man, it's in movies. It's in TV shows. I mean, like not like network TV, but you know, your Netflix, your Hulu's, your whatever, your Amazon Primes, all that stuff. But like, you know what I mean? What the hell's the difference?
Yeah. I know, it's kind of weird. It kind of reminds me of the new God of War game now. The one thing the new God of War game never had that the old games did was a gratuitous sex scene. It's kind of weird. It's like real life because the fucker finally gets a kid and then he doesn't stop having sex.
Yeah, you remember all the games? The guy was always having Kratos is like, well, I gotta go kill Zeus, but I might as well bang these two chicks. And he always had a threesome going on, eh? That fucking lucky bastard.
Yeah,
can I be damned as well, please?
The only time Kratos got wood in the latest game was when he hauled that big fucking tree up from the first part of the game. Oh man, Paul, how do you feel about it, man? I got a feeling you're a Mass Effect guy, so
I am actually. Yes, I enjoyed the games a lot. Not just because of the butt shots, but they helped. But I don't understand why they're doing it either. Either they're getting pressure from politically right-leaning morons, or maybe even a Christian group somewhere deciding that you can't show the butt. Okay, whatever. It's like,
well, it's but a good point. It makes you wonder.
Yeah, but I think if you're gonna do stuff like that, especially if it was in the original versions, make it a toggle, make it an option. A lot of games have blocking for gratuitous whatever and for blood. Right. Do that with this. Give us the choice.
Like have that in when you start up the games, original vision or modified or something like that. You know what I mean? So you can play it like that.
Because if you want your kid to play it, but you don't want him to look at what's her name's ass all day, then flip that parental control on. Whatever.
I mean, the screen's a bit low. Okay, we get it. They're talking. Maybe there's more focus down below. But that's a great thing because, like, say, okay, the studio says that's our original vision and we want to go with it. And then let's just say there's some, as someone said in the chat, there's like a Karen at the studio that goes, "Well, I don't really like it because I just think there's just too much butt shot in the scene, and I think it's really
it's demeaning to women,
and degrading. So you guys should really change it." So then if the original director comes out and says, "Well, no, but that's our original game. That was original vision. It wasn't a problem before, it's a problem now." So then she goes and complains and says, "Well, now the studio, they're being sexist." You see what I'm saying? Like this is kind of the weird society we live in now, where sometimes you can't stick to your own guns because you're going to be wrong no matter how fucking right you are.
Right. I'd like to know. It'd be interesting to know what was behind the decision to do this. That's what gets me.
I think Noob has nailed it on the head. I think that it's internal because this isn't that big. I mean, I know it's big for like the community, air quotes. Right. Okay. But it's not a big global, like not everybody around the world is talking about this, right? They're not like going, "Oh, the Mass Effect remakes or whatever remasters are coming." This is not getting a huge media attention outside of the gaming community, right? So I don't think it's an external source like some Christian Bible thumping group, protesting in front of EA, "No more butts," or whatever. Yeah. That's not, because this isn't a global release. I mean, it's global release, but I'm saying it's not globally aware. Like, you know what I'm saying? So this must have been internal. I think Noob is right. Must have been someone in the studio. And you got to look at EA. EA's a big corporation. You got to bend the will to whoever's offended. That's the way it fucking goes.
Spider-Man, you live in Alberta. You want to join me down in front of BioWare next week? We're going to bring down some signs that says, "I want ass." We'll stand outside and make the news. It's minus 40 here right now. Fuck it. I don't care how good your ass is. I ain't standing out there for nothing.
Not a minus 27.
Jesus. No. It's like literally minus 40 here tonight. It's fucking freezing out there.
Okay, that's just stupid. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Joe Dunmore said in the chat, he said, Kratos has about 6 illegitimate kids. And if you follow any like Greek mythology or anything like that, I'll tell you what, those like female goddesses must have been bitches, because you got all these gods going smashing regular humans and making, these demigods all over the place, man.
That's true. Good call. By the way, who said that, Titan?
Joe Dunmore.
Who? Joe Dunmore. What's going on, buddy? Sorry, I had to give one screen to Joe Dunmore.
Great. Good stuff. Like I said, it's not a topic we need to beat to death or beat anything at all, I guess, if you know what I'm saying. But it is a topic all the same, and let's hope that, I don't know, like at the end of the day, I'm going to buy it as long as the game itself, I guess, is intact, but I don't really approve of it. Just leave it the way it is, upgrade the visuals, and just leave it alone. You don't have to mess with a good thing. If it bothers you, don't fucking play it. That's all I got to say. It's like the old philosophy, man. It's like, if you don't like this podcast, don't fucking watch it. Just go to fuck home. Unfollow. I don't give a shit.
Well, and if you're that bothered that they're not showing you the same butt shot they showed you 20 years ago, you may need to rethink your priorities, okay?
I'm going to play on the old gen. At least I got to see some ass.
It's all about that ass. I never played for the gameplay. It was all about those gratuitous boobs and ass shots. Even the blue chick was hot. Oh, man. All right, guys. All right. So that's it for that. So we're going to drop, let's give a shout out to the chat real quick. Joe Dunmore is here in the house. What's going on? Jesse Darby, the Doctor, Power Man 4K is in the house. Spider-Man 356 is still hanging out with us as always. Pure Flat Monkey is here in the house. Juno's 23, Magnetic Storm 25, Spooky Sprocket. We got Pong Soul. What's happening, Pong? Crispy Rambo. Love the name. Good stuff, guys. Great people here. Up to 61 right now. Glad you could be here. Now it is time to drop the second anagram of the night. So I am going to list it out for you here right now. You guys just continue talking. I'm going to type it up here real quick. Here we go. So the next one is number 2, Popular Ubisoft character. And let me type it in here. It is coming down the pipe right now. Y-M-R-A-N-A. There you go. This one's going to be a little easier than the first one. Are you guys also keeping track of who got the first one? I think it was, what's his name?
Wow. Okay. Well.
Who's the guy that got the first? Sparhawk got the. That's what I'm saying, guys. You got to keep a track of these.
I'll go ahead and write Sparhawk down right now.
Timothy Dixon got it already. Look at that, and he spelled it perfectly correct.
Jesus, Timothy Dixon, that was fast.
Timothy is on the ball. He's usually one of the first in the podcast chats tonight, and now he goes to the final versus Sparhawk. So there we go. Sparhawk and Timothy Dixon. Rayman, popular Ubisoft character. We got number 3 coming up here shortly.
The Doctor almost had it. He was like a millisecond behind Timothy Dixon.
And he's like, Rayman!
Oh, yeah, sorry,
Maven. Yeah, he wouldn't have wanted any. Ray Maven doesn't count. Sounds like a bad football player. Oh, shit. All right, guys. Yeah, that's the other thing. You have to make sure you spell it. If you spell it wrong the first time, type as fucking fast as you can, because if you spell it right, say the second time, but you still beat the other person, you get it. It's good to go. So we got another one's coming up here shortly. So I'll give you that shortly.
I wrote them both down just in case.
Yeah. I put them in our private chat. If you look in our private chat, they're in there.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Should we do the Ask Arnold segment now? Get it out of the way, or hit another topic?
It's up to you, brother.
Let's do the Ask Arnold now, guys. We're almost halfway through the show, so let's get that out of the way. So now, if you guys got any questions for Arnold tonight, now is a great time to ask him. Joe Dummer, I can't spell, so I'm not going to get in this contest. Hey, well, this one you technically don't have to spell. You just got to get the letters in the right order.
Yeah, the spelling's there for you. It's just,
Right. All right. So, any questions from the panel and
I got
from
one.
The chat? Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Schwarzenegger, are you upset that Kim Kardashian has her own cell phone game and you don't?
I think that's absolutely terrible. But the best thing about the Kim Kardashian game, whether you're looking at her in real life or you're looking at her on the game, that woman has got an amazing rack and she's got a great ass. I would love to get out there and touch that ass, but unfortunately, I can't do that right now. I'm too busy. But I think it's great that she's got a game. It could be shit. I mean, her show is shit. Almost everything about her life is shit. She even married a piece of shit. But the thing is, but anyway, that's enough about this. All right, there you go. All right,
That was short.
Arnold dropped character. It's all good. That's
Arnold went off the rails. He's left the building somewhere. All right.
I got
Any
one.
more? Yeah, go ahead, Titan.
Arnie, what do you think of Noof Nukem buying the Rambo skin?
That was the worst money he's ever spent. I don't know why he would do that. I mean, we've been hanging out how long now? Why would you not go out there and buy the Terminator? Why would you not put me in the game? I don't understand it, Noof. Can you explain that to me? You've been hanging around with Cletus too long? You've been smelling the horse manure and the pig shit? What is wrong with you? You got to buy the Terminator. That's what you should have bought. Heck, I would have been even happy if you bought RoboCop. At least he's a hard fuck. But you went out and bought the Rambo. What the hell? I want to know why. Well, I bought Rambo because he's fucking cool, and you're the old fuck in that game, Arnold. That's the old version of you. I want the young Arnie. I want the one with the big pipe and muscles, not the old fucking heart attack fuck. Like, what's up with you, dude? Like, I want that guy. Never Nukem, I swear to God, when this podcast is over, we're gonna have a chat. You're going to sit down with me. We're going to have a chat. And by the time we're done the chat, your face is going to look like the Predator when it took the mask off. And it was like, you're one ugly motherfucker. Now you go back in your hole. Oh, my God, Arnie. I'm pissed off Arnie tonight. He doesn't like that purchase. We got one from... Yeah,
sorry, go ahead, brother. Go.
No, you take the question.
I was going to say, I got one from Custodes X in the chat. He says, hey, Arnie, how many cock rings do you have?
I've got a hell without more than Noof Nukem. I mean, hell, you know, when I was, nobody really knows this about me, but back in the day, I used to work at a bakery, and that's what I used to hang the donuts on. I used to get a full dozen on there. It was great. Now, it was a really crazy thing back in the day when you had to explain why the hell you were using your cock as a donut hanger to the boss, but it was kind of funny. I still have some scars from the hot oil. Draven Arrow, talking to yourself to a whole new level. We have one from Jesse. Hey Arnold, I got a question. Could Sony dress up a piece of shit and people still buy it? Of course. Then what kind of question is that, Jesse? They've been doing it for years. They never change. Sony's always redressing shit. You know what I mean? They're always doing that. And they get away with it because people are just like, Sony's great. Everything that Sony does is great. Oh, it doesn't matter. But they're always doing the same thing. So, you know, if Sony made Minecraft to become Minecraft, and you'd still go out there and buy it. All right, last one.
Hey, Arnold, what do you think about the show? Hey, Arnold.
He's not with me in it, so it doesn't matter. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. This next question. Hey, Errol, how many Kardashians do you need to screw in a light bulb? You only need one. Actually, the whole family could screw in the light bulb. They're always getting screwed. That's all they do. If they're not screwing, they're screwing other people over. That's what they're doing. Everybody, the weird guy, the dad or whatever the fuck, he looks like a woman now. I don't understand it. I don't know what's going on over there. They're a really fucked up family. You know, like that sort of thing. Maybe I should have put Kardashian as an anagram in here tonight. No one would spell it. All right, good stuff. All right, that's good for Arnold, guys. We'll move on with the show. That was a good one. All right, funny shit right there. Let's get down to the next question. Well, sticking with EA. This one's going to be an interesting one. BioWare apparently later on this week is supposed to make some type of decision about Anthem. Anthem was probably one of the more hyped up games in the last 5 or 6 years, no doubt. A lot of us had high hopes for it, and many of us basically forgot about the game 2 or 3 weeks after it come out, if it wasn't before. Is the game even still going? I don't know. I never see anybody playing it. I don't really hear anybody talking about it. The game came out and got ho-hum reviews. It definitely was a big letdown, and it certainly was a stain on a pretty decent track record by BioWare at that point in time. Everybody had even higher hopes because we'd already hoped that Mass Effect Andromeda was going to be this incredible game, which also turned out to be a little bit of a letdown. So how do you guys feel about that? Like, do you think they're going to extend? Do you think they're going to stick with this game? Perhaps bring, because I think they have something there with Anthem. There's no question. I think they have a great IP. They've got amazing mechanics. They have like cool graphics, and the concept is definitely there. but it's the execution, and it's the fact that they went away from the story and kind of decided to go with some kind of a whack job, really weird narrative kind of thing, and it turned out to be a fetch quest, and I think it would have been better off if it was more of a narrative driven thing as opposed to trying to be a copycat of Destiny. So how do you guys feel? Who wants to take the floor on this one?
I'll jump in if no one's going to jump in.
Go
right
ahead,
away.
Mag. Go ahead.
You know what? I was actually really excited for the Anthem next because I tried the first one and it didn't really stick with you. It didn't really stick with me. I found that the central hub of the game was really boring, and the characters, when they turn around and they look at you with those blank anime eyes, and they're like, "Oh, it's you. I have something for you to do now." And I'm like, "What the fuck is
that
this?"
bad, eh?
Oh, dude, it was that bad. But the thing is, once you got out there, it actually is a really good, the game mechanics itself, the graphics, the everything, the gameplay, even the gunplay were really good. At least I thought it was really good. It was just everything around it. It was the presentation around it that just dragged it down. And then the people who really got into it, they know more details than I do about what worked and what didn't work. But I'm just saying that's what I saw from my end. And then what I was like, you know what, this is not really doing it for me. And, yeah, they were trying to go after that, play for 1,000 fucking years Destiny game. Like, I know Destiny's great, and I've played it, and I played it with some other podcasters and stuff, like in parties and stuff. And after a while, I'm like, when does it fucking end? Like, you guys have been chasing the same gun for 4 months and 9-hour raids. I'm like, guys, I have shit to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to play something like Noob said, they've got the idea down. Okay. It's just that the execution is not there. It's kind of silly. Like, why don't they make it more narrative driven? Make a fucking story around it. Make it like, if you want to model it after something, model it maybe after like a Gears of War kind of idea, because that seems to be the vibe. That with a little bit of Destiny. Stay away from the looter shooter thing. Make it open world, whatever the hell you want to do, but calm down with the ever growing whatever. Make it like a cohesive package. That's what I'm saying. Now, here's the thing though. When they're saying they're deciding the fate of this game, this is where my ears perked up. Okay. Because what I think is going on is what we don't know, how much effort they've allowed them to put into this Anthem next. Right? I don't think they have a whole shitload of devs working on this. I almost feel like they put a bleeding edge team on it. Anybody else get that vibe? Maybe just okay, you guys play with your silly little side project. We kind of already dumped this idea. And you know what? Come to us after about a year and a half. And if you got something decent, we'll take another look at it. So I don't think it's like this is coming and EA's behind it 100%. I think that they're just giving some guys the opportunity to work on it and seeing if they can improve it. And if it's something that they see that hey, guys, this is a winning idea. Let's start marketing and let's get behind this. I think that's what they're waiting on. So all of it, once again, is all going to be internal. We're not going to see what's actually going on and how much money they've put into it or how many devs they've got working on this. Right. So it could go either way. So it depends on how, like I said, it depends on what they present to the investors, right? That's the key. Indeed. That's what it is. Like pitching a movie. You know what I'm saying? You could say, oh yeah, we got Lethal Weapon 6 coming out, but you still got to sell it to the investors or else the movie doesn't happen. Doesn't matter who's in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so the same thing with this. And so we don't know how much time or money they invested in this Anthem next. And I think personally, that they just basically reworked what they've already had with all the assets, of course, and then they tried to retool it with a minimal amount of people working on it. Because keep in mind, what's BioWare working on right now? What are they focusing on? They've got the remaster, the Mass Effect situation. Okay. They've also got a new Mass Effect, which they teased, like a month ago? Something like that. Yeah. So they've got a lot of shit going on right now. They're not going to focus all their attention on a game that already had bad press. Right. Anyway, that's the way I see it. So like I said, I give it, if I were I am a betting man. I was going to say, as a betting man, this is a 50-50.
Right. I love it. I love your take on it. Great. Go ahead, Titan.
Well, I would agree with you, Mag. Seeing how they delivered an incomplete or, unfulfilling game, if you will, right? In a lot of aspects. But where I disagree with you is when this game came out, it was hyped when it came out. Yes. This game was everywhere. And and it also has fantastic graphics, right? These graphics you can't compare and put on the same level as like a Bleeding Edge, like a passion project. That's where I can't follow you with, I can't follow you with on that aspect, because I think there's just, because they hyped it so big, this game was supposed to be so huge, and the graphics are so good that, you know, I can't see that this was a passion project team on it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the original team was not a passion project team. I'm saying that was their full AAA. That was a full AAA investment.
You're saying the next game will be like a passion project team?
I'm saying that I think they just gave a handful of developers saying, guys, work on this, see if we can make it better, and then maybe we could repackage it and whatever. But they're not going to give them all of the staff and assets to work on it when it already has the stink.
Yeah, I could see that. This
well,
is
if
EA
they
we're
do
talking
that,
about. This is
well,
EA
how the
we're
hell?
talking
Well,
about.
that would be the stupidest thing ever, because all right, this game didn't succeed with a good development team. I don't see how putting a smaller development team and say, hey, well, we got the idea, try and make it happen. That's like a losing strategy in my book.
No, of course. But they're by the way, someone in the chat pointed out they're also working on Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Like, how many guys have they got? Like, they don't have a whole lot of guys, and I don't think they're going to put a lot of money into this.
No, EA's got a ton of teams, but
they're busy.
But I guarantee
man, they're busy, man.
Well, I guarantee you, the go-to answer on this question, you know, whether they should scrap it or not, the easy answer is just to say scrap it, right? I haven't played it personally. I will eventually, because it's in Game Pass. But from what I saw the potential in it, and like you guys said, you know, many good games. You know, they just need, maybe they didn't have time to deliver on their vision or whatever their excuse was. But you know what? Sometimes it just takes another swing at the plate. You know, sometimes you don't knock the ball out of the park on the first pitch.
Look at Titanfall. Titanfall 1.
Yes.
Titanfall 2 is solid. You know,
you like Titanfall 1? I love Titanfall 1.
I loved it. But anyway, you know, the thing is, though, but it's still got that stink on it. Anthem still has that public perception that they have to reverse, and that's really hard to do. Because look at what's it called there, Cyberpunk. You know, they had those issues or whatever. It's regardless of how much better it is now that they've done all these patches, performance patches, and all the other stuff, it's still got that public perception that it came out a mess. And that's really, really, really hard to erase that. You know what I'm saying? So they would have to do something Herculean to reverse that Anthem situation, or maybe just wait long enough that it gets out of people's minds, and then they reintroduce it. They'd be like, you know what? Let's give it another shot. It's been 3 years.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe that's what they're waiting for. Who the fuck knows? Like, I really don't know.
Yeah.
This could
like
go either way, man.
Yeah.
Like Rocky said, man, good insults last a long time. You know, in this game, when it came out, it was being insulted left and right. You know, because I remember, when this game came out, I remember a lot of people saying it was a buggy mess, like flying around. It was like 10 frames a second until, you know, and I guess it got patched. So who's played it? Like, has anyone played it recently? I'm sure it runs a lot better.
I did a little while ago. It's got so many good parts to it, but they like the raids and the fights and all the stuff you have to do is so repetitive. It's so limited in what you do. I think that's one of the things that killed it. One of the things that killed it for me originally too was the load times are horrendous on the Xbox One X. I mean, I haven't done it on the Series X, but on the One X it was unbearable. It really was. You would die and you would sit there for 4 minutes while it reloaded back up. You know?
Well, you can guarantee that they've fixed that now with the new hardware, right? So, I mean, that would at least be something, but I mean, that's not enough to. That's not enough to reverse people's minds on whether it's a good game or not. I'd be like, oh, well, it loads faster. But there were other problematic issues.
Spider-Man 356. Turn your name to Spider-Man 357 because you've just got 357 L's now, okay?
I was about to shout that out. I was about to say, shout out to Spider-Man there. He said they should cancel Smite, not Anthem.
I think if they, like you said, if they make it more story-driven, give it a cohesive story, there's a reason you're doing all this stuff and not just floundering around, you know, and also make them a little more. I got tired of collecting all the little shards of shit you had to collect on every single thing. You know,
and this is what and this is where it comes back to, like we've said before, and I've certainly said on various podcasts, is that other games got to stop trying to be other games. They need to find their own identity and stop worrying about what's popular. Stop worrying about, the other guy. Do your own thing. BioWare already has a recipe for success. I mean, their studio was built on story-based games, and they've had lots of good success. And the execution of Anthem was good. I mean, the execution was good. Like the play mechanics were good. The graphics are fine. The game overall.
I like the Iron Man flying bit. It took me a little bit to get used to it, but I actually like that functionality.
It was well done. And the difference in each suit. The difference in each suit felt good. Now, the difference in the weapons. I think somebody in the chat said that the weapon variety was not good. It felt like you're using the same weapons with a new piece of cloth wrapped around the barrel. So they skimped out on the weapon, but the suits were great. The 4 different styles that you got in the game, they all played very differently. It was awesome. And it kind of felt a little bit like a mix of Titanfall and Destiny and Iron Man all wrapped into one. So I think they're sitting on a gold mine concept. I think their concept is sound, but they need to just scrap this whole fucking fly here, get a purple weapon, fly here, get a blue weapon, fucking the story all over the place, because you're all playing sort of like the missions in weird orders and shit, and you're going back and trying to tie everything together. Half it's not even told through a cutscene or a cinematic. It's kind of like, oh, well, you need to read this fucking profile and all this dialogue. Who the hell wants that? So, like, I think they go forward with it, but I think you don't. You leave this game where it is, right? This game is a mess. It's just done. Just be done with it. Get it over and do like Paul said, move to number 2. Make Anthem 2. Forget about I know it's hard to take the takes, but like, again, Titanfall didn't set the world on fire. Now, there was a couple reasons why. I mean, one, it was an Xbox exclusive at the time, and it came out early in the cycle of the Xbox when there was a less user base, less people to begin with. And then second of all, that one didn't have a cohesive story. It was kind of little bits in between the missions. Then the second game came out and blew the fucking doors. It did everything that was wrong with the first game. The second game basically fixed, outside of the fact that when you're playing multiplayer, the fucking Titans now are locked into certain weapons with the class, whereas in the first game you could pick your favorite Titan and load it out with the kind of weapons you like, which was better. You didn't need batteries. Like, what the fuck? What is this, an Xbox controller? Like, come on. So but I think they just scrap it. They say, we're coming out, Titanfall 2 is going to fix all the wrongs at the first game. Just go all in, go balls to the wall. They have the talent, they have the means to make it a great franchise, and EA maybe needs to step aside. I think that's part of the problem too, is EA's been meddling with too many fucking studios. They came in, they're forcing everybody, they were trying to force everybody, like, do Frostbite. No, the same thing with the Mass Effect. It started out on Unreal Engine. It wasn't supposed to be Frostbite. It's supposed to be fucking, like I said, let them alone, let them do their thing, and let them make the game they want to make. And if it's a success, great. If it's not, then you make your decision, but stop forcing them to be like Destiny or fucking all that shit. You know what I mean? Let them do their thing. They know what they're doing.
I mean, Fallen Order is a great example of when EA steps aside.
Yeah, exactly.
Fallen Order is a perfect example of when EA steps aside and says, do your thing. Yeah.
Well, that's because Respawn wasn't having it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Respawn stepped up right away and said, we're going to do things, but we're going to do it our way, and you either endorse us or go fuck yourself, basically.
Oh,
and
what's his name? The head of the studio is a gangster. I always forget his name, the Italian
Vince
guy.
Zampella.
Yeah, Vince Zampella, yeah, Vince Zampella. He's basically the Tony Baloney of the dev world. Yeah, he was probably like, he probably went up and go fuck yourself with your Frostbite. Yeah. It's Unreal Engine 4. Yeah, that's all I can picture him doing. But yeah, he's they weren't putting up with it. And look what they released. Solid.
I remember the story. If you watch the making of God of War, and Corey Barlog is talking about it, and he talks about the first time that Shuhei kind of saw God of War, the new version, and how he's been giving them the funny looks, like, this doesn't look like the old game kind of deal, you know what I mean? But they went with it, and it turned out to be a fucking great move. This is what I'm saying. Sometimes you just got to trust your dev. You got to trust their artistic, where they're going with it. Sometimes you just got to make gambles. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But in God of War's case, it paid off in spades. I think it's a better game now than it ever was. Some people may disagree. I know there's lots of people that like the older God of Wars, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes you just got to let your studios do what they feel is right with the talent they have and let the rest fall as be. Like I said, every game doesn't need to be Destiny or doesn't need to be a Minecraft and doesn't need to be a Fortnite. So get rid of that shit. Make your own damn game.
All right.
There you go.
Noof Nukem, stamp of approval. Make your own damn game. All right.
Make your own damn game. Stop trying to bore everybody else's shit. You know what I mean? Like that's the problem with Gears of War. Gears of War was doing its own thing and people were copying them. And guess what happened? Gears of War starts to lose a little popularity and Gears of War starts doing the same shit other people are doing. You know, Gears of War wasn't built on fucking pink gun skins and shit. Get that crap out of the game. That's for the fucking noobs, man. Like, get that shit out of there.
It's just
Fucking
you know what it is. That's just
fucking
trend chasing.
flowery hats and pink fucking guns and shit. Gears of War is not a fucking circus. It's Gears of fucking War. It's dark, gritty, and should be stay that way. Get that crap out of the game.
You know what they do, Noof? A lot of those the devs, and I'm not talking about the devs themselves. I'm talking about the management, middle management, looking up to the investors and upper management. A lot of it is trend chasing because what they're trying to do is that, yeah, at the end of the day, they're trying to sell their product and their vision, but at the same time, they're like, but we have pink guns, just like you said, right? And they're like, and statistics show, like, a lot of guys like whatever, they'll buy fluorescent guns with flowers on them. Just play 2 rounds of fucking Call of Duty and call me back. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and then, but here's the other thing. Let me flip this over the other way. And I say let them do what they want to do. Give them their vision, this and that. The only company out there that's doing that is Microsoft. Because Phil has openly said it. I might sound like a shill, but I'm sorry. It's a fact. He's openly said, he goes, I'm giving them full creative control and freedom of what they want to do so that we can diversify our portfolio, right? Whereas companies like EA and even Sony to a certain extent, they didn't get away with everything. Noof, that documentary you were talking about, they actually scrapped the original demo because what's-his-face went in there and said, this game is shit. And he said, fucking start over. And they did. Remember that? They took like a month-long vacation, and then they came back, and they had to restart the game from scratch.
Yeah.
Okay? So, it's just the way it is. But here's, you got to, like I said, look at the flip side of it. The flip side of it is that they're investing millions of dollars, and they don't want a crackpot like, what's his name there? The fucking FedEx simulator. Okay? Right?
Yeah.
Look what happens there when you got Kojima and you drop in $100 million, $150 million budgets on this guy, and this guy is like drinking, give me the tears of children in my coffee. Like he's so fucking wacky. Right? They'll never make that mistake again. Do you think Sony will dump another $150 million on some fucking crackpot idea that Kojima came up with after snorting 2 lines of coke?
Wasn't there a
chance?
Wasn't there an article about Microsoft potentially getting Kojima Studios? That was about 2 months ago. I heard that too. I think that was an unfounded rumor. But you know what, though? Okay. Kojima would actually probably fit in better at Microsoft because at least Microsoft would give him the freedom to do whatever wacky shit he wants to do. I'll tell you right now, I bet you, I don't know anything, but I can tell you that probably Kojima and Sony are probably not on the best of terms right now based on the performance and the damage control that Sony had to do with that fucking game. Okay. And I'm not saying anything bad about the game. I'm just saying in general, you remember Sony actively went into Metacritic and started removing reviews and shit like that? Yeah.
Okay. That was damage control. They were basically trying to put out fires. Like, they probably went to Kojima and they're like, hey, we gave you like $150 million fucking dollars, and now we got to do damage control for your bullshit? They're not going to do it. EA's not going to do it either. That's where I'm bringing this all around back to EA. They're not going to just be like, yeah, fuck it, do whatever you want. Here's $100 million. Like, nah, no. That's not how it works in the real world, folks. I'm sorry. I mean, I know that, like, idealistically, that should be the way, especially from an artist point of view, you would say, yeah, that's how you do it. That's not how it works. You've got to please the people who actually have the cash to make this shit happen, right? And that's why, Noof, you get pink guns in fucking Gears of War. right? Because at the end of the day, they still got to make their
I know
bank.
it makes
sucks.
money.
It
It makes
sucks.
it back. I know it feels weird. I get why you do it, and then at the same time, like it's their call. At the end of the day, I don't have to use it. It's just annoying. It's even like Call of Duty, and you're playing games, and all these guys got the weird guns and shit hanging off, the weird outfits,
Teddy bears.
and I'm like, man, if I was in a real fucking war and you came with me and you were my sniper and you had a pink and fluorescent sniper gun and a fluorescent fucking hat, I would take my own gun and shoot you and put you out of your misery before we got down to the fucking war.
Or some guy's got a teddy bear thing dangling off the side of his fucking AR-15. I'm like, oh wow, okay.
I like my teddy bear hanging off my AR.
You spent 5,000 hours fucking playing it, or you spent some bloody money. So you camped 100,000 people. Who the fuck knows? I don't know.
Hey, I don't like it either,
weird,
man. I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't like any of it, but I'm just saying the reality is.
I know. And it's going to stay that way forever. That's the market we're in, because while they cater to some guys like me, they obviously know that the guys who like that stuff, they spend a lot of money on that shit, and that's kind of why they get it. It's a bragging right? It's I want to be different, I want to stand out, and they either stand out by buying it, and they might suck at the game and still look weird, or they might be really fucking good with it, which in a lot of the cases I find when some of the guys have the weird shit, they're often really good, because like I said, you got to you got to you either got to rank up to get there, or you got to spend the money. So one of the two. So they're either really good or they're probably broke. One of the two.
It's funny, that mentality of people wanting to stand out and stand out from the crowd and be noticed, this and that. And like most of the times when they do something to stand out in the crowd, they make themselves look ridiculous. See it on Twitter every day. Drives me nuts.
So let's catch up with the chat, because I dropped the third anagram, guys, and here it is.
And James got it.
Anagram number 3 is no, it's not quite. An Assassin's Creed protagonist. The letter is GLRIUAA, and I will going to say right now, it's not from. I'm going to give you one extra because this might be trickier. It's not from the games. You have to get it, and that's not the proper name. What is it? Whoever can spell it out perfectly first is going to move into the final. So far, we got Sparhawk and Timothy Dixon with the first correct guesses. So it's a protagonist from Assassin's Creed, but I never said it had to be a game. Remember, there was an Assassin's Creed
somebody
movie.
had to watch that movie.
Everybody's Googling it right now.
actually, I got that movie for free from Microsoft. It's sitting on my Xbox.
Yeah, I got it too. I watched 15 minutes.
No. It's not Guliraria.
That's so funny. This remind me of the Seinfeld episode with the girl with the name. What the hell was it? They said, "Oh, it rhymes with a female body part." Oh, I love you too, uvula, or whatever the fuck they're saying.
Crazy Greek dude is close, but the spelling is a little bit wrong.
Yeah, we got to take the proper spelling because the letters are there, right?
Yeah. GLRIUAA. Dreadpool Dolores.
Aguilar.
Dolores. That's right.
Aguilar. Crazy Greek dude's got it. Aguilar. Congratulations. Aguilar, played by an amazing actor. What's the fuck his name? I'm drawing blanks on everything tonight, but anyway, I thought the movie was okay. Could have been better. Did some cool things, and some other stuff was crap. But yes, Crazy Greek dude Aguilar, he gets it from the movie version of Assassin's Creed. I knew it was going to make it a bit tougher on you guys, but anyway, you move into the 5th round now, the final round versus Sparhawk and Timothy Dixon. We got one more anagram coming up, and this is going to be you're going to have to really go back through time on the next one. I'll let you know what that is. Yes, Michael Fassbender. Thank you very much. I like that guy. Great actor. Yeah. So another anagram coming up here before we get to the final. So we're going to move on to another topic. Unless anybody else has anything further to say about fuck spelling Max is Spider-Man. There you go. Close, guys. Sorry, but yes, the correct spelling does count since I'm actually giving you the letters. So if you spell it wrong, well, that's kind of odd. That's on you. But anyway, yeah, that's like Titan going to school and giving the students, what's 3 + 3, and they go 8. It's kind of the same
well, you
thing.
said a number. All right, let's go.
Yeah. So there you go. And I'm sorry, it doesn't count. You do not pass your math test with that kind of philosophy. All righty. Let's move on to the next one. Now, the next one's interesting. Cinematic lighting experience for Senua Saga Hellblade 2, The Ninja Diaries. They show a new screenshot from in-game, apparently, with some new lighting, and obviously you can see the detail and textures. Apparently, it's a fire pick. I mean, we hope that it's representative of the final game. I can't see why it wouldn't be, considering that the first game, even on basic hardware, looks absolutely incredible. So to think that it wouldn't look this good, you'd have to be asinine. I'm sorry, you'd have to be out to lunch, because Ninja Theory is highly talented, and look what they did with the first Ninja Theory, and with the first Hellblade. So I have high hopes for the second game. I think it's going to be phenomenal. I really do. They know what's at stake with this game. Microsoft knows it's a game they need in their portfolio dearly. And of course, right after that gets tweeted, you got some nim shit going, only reason this game is being overhyped is because it's an Xbox exclusive. Of course, you know that shit was coming with it. But anyway, what do you guys think of the screenshot? And of course, we got the Sony ponies all up in arms again. You know, Hellblade, it never was. Yeah, well, it was pretty damn popular when it was fucking exclusive, wasn't it? Now, apparently, it's a piece of shit. So you guys weigh in on that one.
Yeah.
Titan, go at her.
I'm glad a lot of people are coming out and defending this game. And the picture with, different lighting, because some clown on Twitter, like you said, like all these Xbox haters and stuff are on Twitter. Like this guy literally said, name a bigger downgrade. And he's got the picture, the original picture that they came out with earlier. And then this one. And it's like, obviously just different lighting. And like, if you look close, you could still see a lot of good detail in it. And there's no downgrade. The only downgrade is in this guy's eyes over time, apparently. Like adjust your prescription or something. Maybe get some contacts, do what you got to do. Cause the problem is with you, buddy. There's no downgrade whatsoever. And I see a lot of people on his post, just ripping him a new one, like, all over the place, saying, like, dude, you're a clown. Like, all right, you're jealous. He just got his self ripped a new one, and I can't believe he didn't just delete the tweet, because people are all over him, and it's it's like you obviously got the Xbox haters, one or two of them that agree, and it's just it's not people reach like. They put out a picture and people jump all over it like rabid animals. It's crazy. Like there's nothing to even complain about or talk about. It's another picture. It looks great. It's different lighting. What? And if you think there's a downgrade, well, let's just wait till the game comes out and let's see what it plays like.
Absolutely. Well, the clown killer himself is actually in the chat. The Mooch! What's going on, Mooch? Glad you could be here to check out the show, man. Appreciate the support, brother. Always good to have you. Yes, indeed. Go ahead, finish up there, Titan, or pass the mic if you like.
I'm going to pass it on.
Who wants to jump in next? It's up between you guys, 50-50.
Yeah, I'll
you guys,
jump in on this.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll jump in on this. Yeah, I saw the picture. I thought it was, it's a picture. Well, what are you going to do at the end of the day, right? And the way that they do it all over the place. They do it on the Sony side. They do it on the Microsoft side. They do it on the PC side. Oh, look at this. Look at this. And it's all just manipulated to make it either, they take one picture that looks dark and fuzzy, and then they take one that looks, crystal clear, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You remember the whole Spider-Man thing? It's like, it's like, oh, look at Spider-Man. Look what happened. Look what they did. Yeah. They promised us this, and now they're giving them this. And I'm like, guys, just stop. Okay, just stop. Just stop. All of it. All you want is attention. And all they want, and that's exactly what they're getting. And Noof, you just said it yourself. The reason why he's not taking the tweet down is because he's getting attention. Whether it's negative or positive, it's still getting attention, and that's what they want. Okay, it's just that's just the way it goes. But anyways, as for the game itself, who the hell was that?
that time, nope.
That got attention.
yeah, see, there you go. That's exactly what that tweet was. Okay, it was basically a burp or a fart, and everybody's going, "Hey, did you hear that?" Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Anyways, I'm excited for the game, and listen, if you could see what Ninja Theory did with the first game on a shoestring budget with a couple of popsicle sticks and some bubble gum, imagine what they could do with Microsoft's money. Now that Microsoft is dumping money on, because you remember that E3 when Phil came out and he announced those 5 studios. The only one I actually first of all, I kind of already knew that Playground. Everybody kind of knew that Playground was eventually going to become part of the stable, right? But then you've had when they announced Ninja Theory, did you hear the gasp from the audience? Like you could hear it. Go watch it again. I watched it like 100 times. It's like the 2006 World Cup when Italy won. I keep rewatching it once a month, just to, anyways, that's just on me. But anyway, the point is, you watch that and people go, oh, because they know, everybody knows that Ninja Theory is one hell of a talented dev team. And imagine what you could do if you put some serious money and assets, okay, and technology behind these guys. If you don't think that this second game is going to be anything short of magnificent, you're a damn fool. Anyways, I won't even give those guys the time of day because they're just, like I said, they're not gamers, okay? They're just looking for attention. That's just being silly.
I'll give them the time of day. It's called the time to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, okay, there you go. The time to go fuck yourself. That's about as much as you're gonna get. But as for Ninja Theory's game, first of all, I'm still saying 2022. Let's say fall 2022 to battle whatever Sony's got coming out fall 2022 because we're not really sure yet. We're not really sure. Those games they announced for 2021, I still don't even think they're coming out in 2021. To be quite honest. And I mean, and I do feel that if God of War is coming out in 2021, I still think it's going to be a Miles Morales situation. That's just me. I just think it's going to be a shortened situation to continue that story. If it is a full-fledged game, I think it's coming out 2022. If that's the case and they push it, and then they use whatever, they say, because of COVID and this and that, remote working, we can't work on a game of this scale. We're going to push it to 2022. That's when you release Hellblade. Okay, so you release Hellblade 2 to battle something like that. Or maybe the new Spider-Man game, an actual sequel to the first one, not the Miles Morales one. So anyways, I'm excited for the game. I really have nothing else to say about it. I just think that it's going to be magnificent. And like I said, they're a talented team. And now that talented team has access to all the other dev teams that Microsoft has and their assets, because they share just like Sony does. Yeah. Okay, so, and then of course you got Microsoft's money behind them. I think it's going to be nothing short of magnificent.
Cerebral Paul, do you think that Hellblade 2 is going to be one of those showcase titles for the series consoles, especially the Series X? Like, do you think this is the kind of the game that, is the put up, shut up definitive edition for the Xbox overall? I mean, based on, I don't know, it's very little that we've seen so far, but like I said, my thought is yes, simply because, again, we've seen what Ninja Theory can do, and they can do that with a small team. Now they've got a massive budget. They've hired a bunch of people over the last year and a half, or ever since pretty much Microsoft bought them. So now their team is going to have more talent, bigger people, bigger budget, more support. So what do you think is the end result, and sort of the thoughts on sort of the backlash that Hellblade is kind of getting per se, because it's an Xbox thing now?
Well, that's because people are stupid. One, I don't, I don't put a whole lot into, here's one picture of one thing that we did, and you're going to pick it apart and go, the rest of the game's going to look like shit because I think this picture looks like shit. Yeah. That is the stupidest argument I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. Okay. It's like, okay. So a freeze frame from a movie is going to tell you that the rest of the movie is shit. Okay.
Could you imagine if someone took a picture of Noof on one of his videos?
Oh, nobody would talk to him ever. But I do think, given that they have another 2 years to get this thing rolling, it sure as hell better be top notch for the Series X. I mean, they've got all this time in the world, and like you said, they got all the money in the world and all the resources they could want. But given, like you said, given what they did previously, there's really no reason that whatever they put out is probably going to be fire, unless something really weird happens. I think it's going to be incredible. Seriously, I mean, I think, and looking at this one shot of we kind of messing with the light to see which one looks better. Here's what and then going, well, that's crap. That's
and no matter how good the game is, there's going to be people that still won't like it or what, and that's fine. I know people that didn't really like Hellblade or just never jive with them. They knew it was a technical achievement, it was a great, but they just for whatever reason couldn't get into it. I heard numerous people didn't like the combat. Now, personally, me speaking, I actually like the combat because I think I understood where they were going with it. Is they didn't want a game that turned into being like a Dark Souls knockoff where all you basically doing is constantly like backtracking or fucking like they wanted you to be in the fight. They wanted you to be up close, so they didn't really want you running away and staying at the end of a map, and you know what I mean? Right. Like it's not kind of, that wasn't the way it was designed. I don't think people really understood the way that they intended that mechanic to be. They wanted you to, yeah, I know it was a little boring because it basically was a couple things you could do is either block or fucking roll to the side or roll to the back, kind of strafe out of the way. But they wanted you to watch because it was about audio, right? So they wanted you to listen for the people behind you because you couldn't just kind of be rolling around like somebody's like a Ninja Gaiden game where you just kind of rolling all over the place and going back and forth. They wanted you to listen to the people behind you. So you'd basically turn around and be right up in their grill, right? At least I think that's what they were going for. I liked it. Some people didn't. That was one of the big, and of course the puzzles pissed a lot of people off. Once I kind of got the jive on them, they weren't that bad at all.
Right.
But there was a couple that I got a little bit stumped on. But like I said, once you kind of figure out what they're going for, they kind of get easier as the game goes along. Like I said, I liked it. A lot of people did. Some people did, and that's fair. And it's going to be the same way with the new game, even if they do. I would like to see a little more weapon variety, but I hope to God, like I said, they don't turn it into an RPG. They keep it the way it is. That sort of stuff. So
now
Luke,
I will say with my handicap, my disability, the battle system was the combat was a little difficult for me.
Yeah,
just because of the way it works.
Relied on bumpers a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine Mag posting a picture of his hairless cat on Twitter.
Oh my God.
You know, I think there's some Asians that want to cook that thing up and turn it into like some General Chow chicken or something.
Yeah.
Hey,
Chinese New Year's this week. You never know.
A lot of people like a clean shaven pussy. I'm just saying.
Cerebral Paul likes that shit.
Excellent. If I have a question for you, brother. Now that you were talking about the combat situation, do you think that maybe they're going to go more that Assassin's Creed route and like really open it up? As opposed to, because I could see what they were talking about, what they were doing in the first game. And I understand what you're talking about. I say that what they were doing in the first game, it was more of like a mental journey. It was not meant to be, a game with actual action and fighting and this and that. Yeah. I think that was just like all in her head, basically. Right. Yeah. Well, not basically, it all was in her head. The bitch was crazy. But anyway, the point is that it was all just happening or whatever. It was just supposed to be like a surreal experience. And like very much like the medium. Like you play the medium, it's not about, fighting off moths or whatever the hell you're doing. And like, big dudes chasing, demons chasing you around and stuff like that. That was all just, trying to drive the narrative forward. So I think that do you think that maybe in the sequel, they're going to flip that around and actually put this in the real world and say, hey, we got a situation now. And now she's actually going to pick up arms and it's going to be like, like an open world Assassin's Creed or God of War kind of style.
I'd be willing to bet she gets a shield and a bow in the next game because bows are all the rage in almost every game these days. Yeah. So something tells you a shield and a bow are probably even an axe. Axes are very popular, obviously, in Norse mythology. I can see her having like a hatchet or something, maybe being a little more visceral, more than just a sword. And I definitely could see the game being a lot more, definitely longer and a lot more expansive. Like perhaps it'll be semi-open world in sort of the way that, like the Tomb Raiders kind of did it, where they kind of kept you confined, but yet they give you a little more freedom to kind of go left or right, not just kind of follow the pathways. So I definitely think they'll probably go that kind of route. But hopefully, they, like I said, they stay true to the original game kind of thing. So
right.
Yeah, I think
and keep the puzzles coming. Keep the
Hey, take it easy with those puzzles. That first looking puzzle. Remember that? We had to stand on the rock and you had to look at all the different like shapes and all that the thing. And you had to, oh my God. Noob was right though. When you did the first, after you get past that first one, everything else was just gravy after that. It was easy. It was much easier once you understood what was going on. But my God, that first one, I almost gave up, I almost gave up on that game. I was just like, this is fucking bullshit. I just walked away.
There's a one where there's like a bunch of hanging raven signs, and you gotta do one on one side, one on, and then you gotta kind of line them all up. And of course, you have those doors. It was a bit weird, for sure. Yeah. Let's get to the super chats first, before we get more. Real quick, Sir X-Man is in the house. What's going on? And he drops a $5 super chat. Says, Mooch isn't past your bedtime. Too late for yelling. All right, we got X-Men again, who drops $2. A Cerebral Paul, we got to get Mooch to play golf. And Sir X-Men again, who drops the hat trick in here, $2. Okay, everyone, like and share. Thank you, Sir X-Men, for that support. Greatly appreciate it, brother. Glad you could be here to check out the show. Chase Jones is in the chat. Chase Jones, guys, much love to my brother. Just had a baby recently, baby girl. I'm proud of you, man. Happy for you guys. Hope everything's well. Hope the health is good. So good to see Chase. There's a guy you want on your team when you're playing shooters, man. That fucking guy is good at shit, let me tell you. We just got to get him to play more. He's been on his PC. He got on the PC trip now, that guy. All right, so what were you going to say? Draven Arrow's in the chat. What's going on, Draven Arrow? Go ahead, Titan, you finish out what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the absolute darkness in this game, like, absolutely gets my attention. Like, because I liked the first game, it was good, but you know what, this one, it looks like it's that game on crack, and Senwa is like taking her disorder, beyond the level of like the monster. You seen, what was that movie with the monster, with the split personalities? There was Split. There was 3 of them. There was Split. I can't remember the other ones. But the dude had the mental disorder. Mr. Glass was another one. Those 3 movies were awesome. And it's like this one, God, this game just like is taking me back to that movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, has a game ever done that for you guys? Like watching a game or watching a trailer of a game, it's like, oh man, that makes me feel this vibe of this movie. And I loved those Split movies and all those movies. And this one, it's like, it's looking so dark. And like her acting in that video that we first, that first video they dropped of her like singing that song. Oh my God, man, that made me like, it completely drew me in. And, and I hope it draws everyone in, because this game, I think it's going to be probably the best game that we see for probably till Fable. I don't think Halo's going to measure up even close to this. I don't think anything else will. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Meg. Cerebral. Answer that shit.
Jeez.
What other game is gonna? What other game is like gonna like?
I don't think it is, because this one's being developed for this. And Fable may look good and Fable may do okay, but like Halo's being revamped because the whole Halo
look like trash.
Yeah. But this one's being built for the Series X and with all the better understanding of the tools and stuff. So they really have this should be like spot on. This probably will be one of the, as far as it will be like a flagship title if they do it right.
Noof, does like the darkness of this game like turn you on? Is it making you want to play it more?
I think it's cool. Like it's definitely a game, like I said, that hasn't really been done quite like this. I love, like I said, how close you are to the character, how it draws you in. The little moments where she's obviously talking to herself, and she almost like she hears people narrate and stuff. So like, I think it's really cool. Obviously, like I said, they're trying to bring some attention to mental awareness and that people struggle with various things. There are lots of people out there who have very similar situations to Senua itself, and and then it's an adventure, but it's action, and there's a lot more to it. And like I said, if you're playing Hellblade, you have to experience it with great audio. It's a big thing for that. Put on some good headphones. It makes a huge difference, because the little whispering, the little things, the noises you hear, it's a very audio style game. Definitely. So yeah, definitely for sure.
And you know what else makes a really good boss fight? You don't even got to have like crazy mechanics, just basically, your block, your dodge, your attack kind of thing, and maybe a little combo. But it's finding out the pattern of your enemy, right? And every different enemy has an attack pattern. Like that goes back to like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, right? Like how every boxer had their own pattern. You got to figure out that pattern to beat them. I really love things like that. And I think that that's the way they should take this combat in this game. Let me know if you agree with me in the chat. Let me know if you think they should go a different direction with the combat. Because I saw someone in the chat say there should be more combat. Because there wasn't a ton in the first one, and what was there was pretty good. So
well, like I said, if she gets a shield, it's going to add to the blocking mechanic. If she gets a bow, it's going to bring more of a distance mechanic in. So I think you're going to definitely see something like that. Probably a hatchet to make it a little more visceral, a little bit maybe where you have to switch out. Where the first game was, it was a sword. You relied entirely on the one sword. But the one thing I liked about it, and I've always said, it wasn't a bullshit thing. It wasn't like you got a crappy ass sword to start the game and you had to go here to level it up. And you had to go here to level it up. And you had to go somewhere else to get a pink fucking handle, which made like, a 2% blocking advantage. Like, no, like I like the fact that it reminded me of a 16-bit game brought to a 3D world. You know what I mean? No bullshit. You just played it. and you enjoyed it. No RPG crap, no fucking leveling up crap, no wandering around crap.
Yeah.
It was just you played the game, and there's very little games out there like that these days.
It told us, we're going back to it told a story.
It told a story. You played a story. You played basically a
Right.
movie story kind of game.
And let me say to you, I hate to disagree with you, Titan, but
No.
I'm not a big fan of fixed pattern combat.
No.
I'm really not, because a lot of times because it means I can't do it because they want you to do stuff quick and in certain ways, and screw that shit. No, I don't like to be able to go, oh, look, there's the pattern. It's going to go left, right, and then he's going to spin. Then he can, no, I don't like that.
You don't
By
like
the way,
that?
guys,
All right.
we dropped our fourth anagram of the evening. We need one more to get this right in order to enter the final. So far in the final, we've got Sparhawk, Timothy Dixon, Crazy Greek Dude. We need one more. The fourth person can get into the final anagram, and it is a Ubisoft published fighting game from the early 2000s. If you do your research, you should be able to get this. RHOWTWUNDFCO. Now put that together and what do you get? Like I said, maybe do a little research. You should be able to get it. Make sure you spell it right. And that's the anagram. Like I said, I listed it in the chat and I just set it out right there. So just scroll up and make sure you put it in the chat right away. You must spell it correctly.
I need to address something because I'm
ahead.
about Failed Pyromancer. When you said he said he can't do it. Was that directed at me?
He can't do what?
Well, yes or no? When I said I can't do the fixed combat pattern stuff.
Noof, you might want to put that in the chat again. I don't even see the anagram.
I didn't see the anagram either.
Right. Here it is. I will put it again. RHOWTWUNDFCO. There it is, guys. It's back in the chat right there, coming up right now. Here it is.
Oh my God, that looks like a monster.
Yeah, it's going to be a little tougher. This one might be one of the toughest ones of the night. No hits on the final one either. Like I said, you're going to have to go back to the early 2000s. Ubisoft published a very popular fighting franchise game. It's a fighting game based on a very popular sport these days. Somebody's going to get it. You got to do some research somewhere.
How about just guessing Meg's favorite pizza topping?
Pineapple.
By the way, shout out to Pyromancer coming out and playing in the community game night the other night. Came out and played some Killer Instinct and stuff with us. That was a good time. Great stuff right there. Greatly appreciate it. That was a lot of fun. We'll have to do it again soon, guys. So speaking of community game night, we're probably going to be doing another one on Saturday. I'll give you some details here now at the end of the show as well. Lots of guesses so far. Nobody's getting it. So we got one more still up for grabs, guys. We need that one more to have a 4-person showdown for the 5th anagram. So come on, yeah, this one's hard.
How many of you are? We got a down thumbs on this anagram.
All right, all right. I'm going to give you a quick hint. So see, you can put it together as fast as you can. Whoever spells the next part of it, I'm going to give you the first 3 letters. Here it is, and then you got to guess the rest of it. UFC.
Oh.
While they're doing that, let me point out
Red
to
Bulls
anybody in the chat who's never seen me before. Look at my name and then guess why I might have trouble doing some of the controls on some games.
Yes.
I think we should give it to Dreadpool because you just said clitoris. Yeah, Dreadpool gets it. Just
we get a winner. Okay, yeah.
Yes. Just straight up, guys. No handicapped or kind of jokes or anything like that. Like I said, greatly appreciate everybody. Just keeps that stuff. Yes. And Pyro gets it. UFC Throwdown. You got it.
Wow.
There you
I
go.
couldn't see anything but Funko Land for some reason. And I know the words ain't even close.
Wow.
Yes. And just so you don't know, like I said, Cerebral Paul is he has cerebral palsy. So that means playing games like most of us do can be a little bit tougher for him because of the motor skills and different things that are required to activate and press certain buttons. So there you go. But we love Paul because he's amazing. He comes out to the community game nights. He has a good time. And like I said, he comes out and has fun, and that's what it's all about. Drago is a comedian. Mooch, get it. All right, so Pyromancer gets into the final round. So here's our showdown. We got Sparhawk. I hope he's still here. Make sure you guys give me the thumbs up if you're still here. Sparhawk, Timothy Dixon. We got Crazy Greek Dude and Failed Pyromancer. There you go. All right, guys. So make sure you give me that thumbs up. Let me know everybody's still here because you're going to need to be here right after Tony Baloney. We're going to finish up the final anagram for the evening. And there's going to be no hints on the last one. You guys are going to need to know your Ubisoft shit. That's all I can tell you. I will say it's an Ubisoft game, no more, no less. But that's coming up here at the end of the show. Greatly appreciate the support, guys. You're fucking fantastic. Amazing chat up in here. Really good. So there you go. All righty. We're moving on to another topic here. I guess we got one more before we get Mr. Tony Baloney in here. This one's kind of a smaller one, just kind of come out today, and we'll weigh it in. Cerebral Paul brought it to my attention this morning. I guess CD Projekt Red had I guess some important information stolen or whatever, and they're sort of being held ransom for it. So Paul, since you kind of brought this into my attention, why don't you kind of tell us what's been going on and how you feel about it?
You're going to make me go dig it up now. I was typing a response while I'm digging it back up. Apology accepted. Just be aware that if you don't know the gamer and you don't know their limitations, you really should keep that stuff to yourself. And that's not just directed at you, Pyromancer. That's at anybody, because you don't know what the other person on the other side of the controller is doing. You know, we have deaf people that play. We have blind people that play. I know a person who's 100% blind. He plays video games. You know.
Yep. We had a guy on the show, like I said, a few weeks back, got no hands, plays video games and kicks ass at it. Titan can attest to that. And on the weekend, we had some, stuff that was kind of jokes in community game night, but they were jokes that, like I said, distasteful, I guess is the way you can say it. And you always have to remember that, we have a lot of different people playing in our game nights, a lot of people on our podcast that a lot of them don't see your faces. We don't see, their backgrounds, and we don't know. So just like I said, we're kind of trying to keep it real and keep it respectful. And I know a lot of times I say lots of like the dirty kind of stuff, but I think we all know that I do it for fun. It's not meant or directed at any individual. It's part of the shtick, so to speak, and it's just kind of fun. So, but that sort of thing. I don't consider myself to be a big sexist or anything like that, and I don't think the community does. But I do say some dirty shit from time to time.
and I'll even say some stuff that makes fun of myself. And once I get to know you, you'll understand that. I mean, they've heard it all in community game night.
Yep. Well, Paul will be the first guy. Oh yeah, look, here you go, shooting the handicap guy again.
Yeah. So with CD Projekt Red, they apparently got hacked, and apparently the guy actually locked down their servers after pulling up all kinds of information, and then he threatened to tell him, I forget how much money the guy said he wanted, but he wanted like thousands of dollars, or he was going to release the information to the magazines and this, that, and the other thing. And CD Projekt Red did the right thing. They told him to go fucking kick rocks. They said, we got backups of all that shit, and and it's fine, it's good. Yeah, we can't get to the stuff that you locked up, but we can deal with it, and they said nothing. In fact, they've updated their thing. They said to our employees, as of the moment, we don't possess evidence that any of your personal information was gotten. So they're doing their due diligence to make sure they're still secure as far as any personal information goes. I think they're handling it right. I think the guy that did it should be strung up, made an example of.
They're gonna find them. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah,
when you've got $1 billion company on your ass, they're gonna find you.
Yeah.
Okay. I got hacked. My wife got hacked last year, and they took a substantial amount of money from us, and they found them. Okay. And this was not on nowhere near the same level. It was like two guys in a hut on the side of a mountain in South China. And they fucking found those guys. Okay. So if MasterCard can find those guys, the $1 billion CD Projekt Red guys who have hundreds of thousands of hundreds of millions of dollars on the line, they're gonna find this guy. Okay. It's not like the mag's personal savings was like a big deal compared to CD Projekt Red. Trust me, they got guys on it right now, and they probably got guys with little laser sights right outside the dude's house.
Now, the only issue that I think may come up is depending on where the guy is, they may not be able to do anything about it.
Oh my God.
Just
Just read the chat, guys, and this is why we love Mooch, because he does Moochisms like only the Mooch can do. After the last Anthem, he goes, I had a better chance of having Ed McMahon at my front door with a large check from Publishers Clearinghouse and being able to win that riddle Noof just asked. It's awesome. I can hear him saying that too, man.
Hey, Mooch, if Ed shows up at your door, he's a zombie. Shoot him in the head, okay? I'm just...
Hey, let me tell you, you know what? What is it? Mooch wouldn't even do contests. He just asked for people to buy him shit, and it works. I don't know how it works. How do I do this?
Actually, no, it wouldn't be Publishers Clearinghouse guy. It'd be Bernie Sanders strolling up. You see those fucking memes of him in Resident Evil 7? Oh, it's the best ever. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I love that one.
That was the best one. Bernie Sanders, Resident Evil 7, just fucking strolling through the house in his chair and his gloves crossed. Oh, my God. That's awesome. Oh, shit. Good stuff, guys.
You know what? Like, to me, like, this is the part of the show. And I think maybe it happens too often from my personal taste, but like, this is the part of the show where we see just how low humans can sink, right? And how moronic people can be. But I'm glad they got a hold of the authorities, and they're like handling it like it's happened to them like 50 times in the past. Like they have this whole, list of, oh man, we're getting hacked. All right. We got our checklist. Let's check number 1. Let's put it out on Twitter. Check number 2. Let's write up the story. Make this guy look like a clown. And they're going down their checklist like it's happened to him 50 times before. And you know what? What I love about this story, they don't even give this clown the respect of calling him a hacker. If you read this article, they literally call this guy an actor. They're like disrespecting him to his face, to the world.
Got him. That means that they got him. Yeah. Even if they don't say they got him, they got him. They know exactly where he is, where he's operating from, what he did. It's obviously amateur hour at best.
That is the way they're making
this is not internal. This is not somebody inside. This is somebody that like hacked into their computers and got it.
Yeah, this is somebody from the outside. He put his ransom note in Notepad, which I
Notepad. Probably didn't wear gloves while doing it either. Left his fingerprints all over.
The free version.
What a jackass. It's not like Anonymous hacked them. Like if Anonymous hacks you, like you're in trouble. Because like those guys are pretty good. But some Yahoo doing that kind of stuff. Looking for attention, looking for cash, looking for a quick payout, looking for a company that's kind of down on their luck right now. Even though they sold 13 million copies. Okay, they're not exactly hurting, but at the same time, a public perspective, they're kind of down on their luck right now. So they thought, hey, let's get them while they're weak. Stupid move.
Yeah. Let's threaten to put out all their old code for their old games.
Yeah. You know what this reminds me of is those random bullshit phone calls that you get, and they're like, and it's in the robot voice, and it's like, if you don't contact this number in the next 24 hours,
that's right.
We will. Tell the authorities and you will be arrested.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like a warrant has been put out for your arrest. And I'm like, is that guy from where is that guy from the Middle East? Like what's going on right now? Is like, I am calling from the government of Canada. And I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're calling. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
I should. That's what I need to do. That's what I should do for these guys. Hey, you want to hire me? I'll do the Ernie the impression to do the spoof calls or whatever. Hello, dear. I'm calling from Canada Revenue. Your taxes are due. And, pay me now, or I will send my donkey to your house. Oh fuck, that was great. Oh shit. Yeah, man, I did the radio thing, man. There you go. Yes, indeed. That was me. That's me behind the microphone. All right, good shit. And I don't really have much to say. I think it's a lowball, scumball move. We've seen this numerous times. It's starting to become a bit of a trend. Like we've seen this with a variety of companies where stuff gets leaked, and it's worse of the ransom kind of thing. Like it's so crazy. I think the biggest concern I always have is, like I said, how it's about our data, right? I mean, it's very important, our passwords and stuff like that. We saw that the fiasco that went down that time when Sony's data got hacked and fucking people were getting shit stolen and stuff. That was nasty. It was one of the worst industry.
Part of that's because Sony waited 2 months to tell us. Yeah.
And then we saw that time. Remember the hackers got in that Christmas, right before Christmas, and they knocked down the Xbox Live and PSN. That was crazy too, man. That was some fucking shit right there. Was it on Christmas Day? I can't remember. Like everybody wanted to play games. I remember everybody was like, "What the fuck? We can't get on." Yeah, well, everybody's been hacked. Like that was fucking nuts. So, but there you go.
One more thing real quick. I love that, like, whoever did this has got to be shitting in their pants when they read the last paragraph of CD Projekt Red's statement. They're like, we already approached the relevant authorities, including law enforcement and the president of the Personal Data Protection Office, as as IT forensic specialists. Like, this guy's got to be just shitting in his pants. Like, he don't even know what that is. But he's got him after him right now.
And probably some 15-year-old kid who's going to have a lot of explaining to do with it to his parents.
Yeah, I can tell you that guy doesn't know what an anagram is either.
I did love their response, though. Their open response is basically, screw off, dude. We ain't giving you shit.
And if it's trying to get back for them for the fucking version that come out, well, I mean, that's a whole nother can of worms. You're starting to get pretty scumbaggy and you're doing that shit.
Yeah.
There's people on Twitter defending like, oh, well, they have every right. Like after the scumbag.
Yeah, I saw somebody do that. It's like, oh, that's bullshit.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, there's people on Twitter defending the guy. Like, oh, it's good, because they're scumballs and they weren't up front and they pulled some bullshit and they're a multi-million-dollar company. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But they didn't. They didn't commit like 6 felonies. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, Sir X-Men dropping another $2 in the super. Sir X-Men on fire tonight. Sir X-Men must have got paid this week. Jesus, $2 in the super chat. Paul talks more crab and golf than me. I am shocked. Yeah, apparently Paul is pretty good at that. The golf games, guys.
Yeah,
pretty damn good at the driving ones too. So there you go.
Only sometimes the driving ones can. Some good, some bad.
You've been doing pretty well when I've been racing against you. So there
only
you go.
in Wreckfest because I drive backwards and take everybody else out. If I'm not going to win, nobody's going to win.
If you see a couch coming up behind you, it's Paul. Oh, fuck. Awesome stuff. Well, like I said, we're going to leave it at this. It's now time we're going to do Tony Baloney. It's time to bring him into the room. I think he's on standby, hopefully. And then we will do our final anagram of the evening. Let everybody get out of here. I think we're pretty much done our topics for the most part. We're going to talk about the Xbox numbers and stuff, but honestly, that's not even worth talking about, really. Microsoft never feels that way anyway, so there you go. They avoid the numbers unless it's got something to do with Game Pass. Oh, yeah, we got 20 million subscribers, but we still have 2.5 million consoles.
And Noof Nukem still isn't one of them.
Yeah, Crazy says you undersell your skills, dude. That's true, man. You do. You're better than you think you are. Alrighty. Yo, Tony Baloney, man, are you on standby? You there, bro?
I'm right here. What do you think I've been doing? I've been sitting here listening to this ridiculous conversation talking about hacks. Let me tell you something. The only good hack there was the Sony hack when I got to see Ariana Grande naked. That was fantastic. Anyways, that was the only good one. And let's get into this. By the way, great show tonight. We've got Gaming Differently with Cerebral Paul. And if you actually look right below, we've got Gaming Stupidly with Titan Drago. Oh, and just in case anybody was wondering, Tony Baloney's got his own contest, his own anagram. See if you guys can figure this out. I'll hold it up to the camera right there. It's FUCKSMITE. See if you can figure out what that spells. There you go. Can you see it? There you go. All right, Titan, you thought you were getting off light.
Oh, fuck. All
right,
guys.
Serves you right, Tony. You're free. You talk trash about Smite, you get smited.
Oh,
you
man,
better re-plug in your mic, buddy.
He's muted. He doesn't know he's muted.
Tony Baloney, we can't hear you, bro. We can't hear you. Where you at?
I'm sitting right here the whole time. It's not my fault that I got excited and pressed the button. I'm from the 70s. We never had microphones with buttons.
No, you did not. You barely had pants with buttons back then, let alone mics.
We barely had pants at all.
Your pink champagne's looking a little pale there. What?
Let me tell you something. At least it's not purple drink, okay? What do you think? What do you think it is, Quaaludes? Let me tell you, as an Italian, the only purple drink I have is called wine. All right?
Oh, there you go.
Quaaludes and cough syrup. It's ridiculous. Someone asked me a question before I get pissed off.
Yes. Well, first of all, we do have one coming down through the super chats. I love the way these people do this. First, let's get a shout out to Chef Trouble in the house again tonight. Princess Zola showing up. What's going on? Pure Flat Monkey is here. And this question comes in, Mr. Tony Baloney, from the one, the only, the doctor. Dropping $5 into super chat with a big question for you, Tony. Here it is. Tony B, my girlfriend said I need to shave my ass to receive ass play from her. Is that fair?
Okay, first of all, Doctor, this is the second week in a row you've asked me about ass play, and I've already told you what to do. If the woman doesn't want to go near your ass, I told you to do what you have to do. Go find yourself a man. But anyways, in order to answer that question, okay, of course you better shave your ass. Nobody wants... Now, flip the coin around for 1 second and think you're going down on a girl, and all of a sudden she's got a Bavarian forest down there. Okay? What are you going to do with your hands? It's going to be like you're deep sea diving, like moving it all aside so you can get to the gold. It's fucking ridiculous. Shave your ass, you animal. And while you're at it, take your cell phone and put the selfie cam on and put it underneath and make sure that it's the right color. If not, you better go to the Shoppers Drug Mart and go get it bleached.
Oh, fuck. All right. Sir X-Man, well, he's dropping another $2 super chat. Mooch, you want me to buy you some furniture? All right. Well, hey, I got one for you, Tony Baloney. Where's the best spot in the house that you like to do it with a lady?
The best spot I like to do it with a lady in a house is at a motel. I don't have sex in my house. Of course, it's not with my wife, of course. It's with other people. But, you know, that's how it goes. You just use the house. You have the wife there, and then you're there, and then you go, honey, I'm going to go bowling with the guys. Then you go to the Super 8 down the street, and that's where you have sex. Next ridiculous question. What married couple has sex? It's ridiculous.
With the guys, you go down the street with the guys and have sex.
Well, you could do that, too, if you're the doctor. You're looking for that ass play.
Tony, I got a good question for you, and it's kind of Smite related. Are you ready?
Oh, for the love of God. I wish my mic was muted now.
Tony, if you could have sex with any goddess, which one would it be?
He's muted again.
He probably did that on purpose so his wife doesn't hear.
Are you out of your mind? I wouldn't even have sex with a goddess. I would have sex with Kratos' wife. You know why? Because then I could tell him from a very far distance. I'd go, hey, Kratos, guess what? I fucked your wife. And then I'd run, and that would be the new sequel. Him chasing after Tony Baloney.
We got another one coming in from Failed Pyromancer. He says, Tony B, is it gay to get head from a girl with a mustache?
That's all you get in France. It's girls with mustaches.
Sure, it was a girl.
Yeah.
What's the problem? You get a little bit of tickle when she gets down to the bottom. It's like a nice little brush. It's like kind of like you know those pipe cleaners that you used to use as kids? You like make stupid little cars and shit like that in class. It's like rubbing that on the back of your shaft and then it tickles your balls when she deep throats you. I think it's a great idea. In fact, I'm gonna ask that my wife gets a mustache starting tomorrow.
We got one more here from Dunny Rat. What's going on, Dunny Rat? He says, Tony, is it true that Italian women like the salami in the date? Jesus, did you ever use a salami? What the hell?
Whoa. Ask the question again, because I almost, Tony Baloney almost left the building there for a second.
Tony, is it true that Italian women like the salami in the date?
Of course they like the salami. What do you think they're coming out for? They're coming out for the salami. There's no other reason to be going out anyway. Listen, Italian women understand what's going on when you go on a date. They're not thinking, oh, this guy's going to take me out. He's going to take me to a movie. He's going to pay $80 for a steak, and then I'm just going to go home and that's it. No, she knows exactly what's going to go on. What's going to go on is you're going to go out, you're going to have a couple of cheap drinks, and then you're going to go get laid. So guess what? The salami is absolutely necessary, and it's going to happen every single time, especially when Tony and Baloney's involved. Ridiculous question.
Great questions tonight. He says they're ridiculous. I think they're pretty fun. All in good time.
Of course they're amazing.
Any last thoughts, Tony Baloney, before you take off for this another, always a fantastic time having you on the show. I hope you're feeling well. So you got a good drink in hand. So, yeah, good shit there.
Of course, but you know what? I gotta say one other thing. I heard the mag was talking earlier about this Halo tournament, and then they're saying, oh, so I say, what is it? Halo 5? Is it gonna be this? And they're saying, oh, it might be Halo 2. What is it? 2003? Why do I gotta dust off a copy of Halo from 2003 to play a new tournament? Can we find a new game that came out between 2003 and 2021? It's utterly ridiculous. I don't even think there's a sprint button in that game. I don't even know what the guy's going to do. It's pretty silly. Anyways, I'm just excited to be there. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for the chat. Guys, thank you for the super chats. And please keep coming. I'll always keep coming. And you know what? We'll see you guys all next week.
Hang on, Tony Boulet. Maybe before we go, we got one more, and we're going to give it to him since he's been dropping super chats like it's hot tonight. Sir X-Man, Tony, is it true that you need a lawnmower to shave an Italian woman in between?
A lawnmower? You need a lawnmower and a machete and a weed whacker. You couldn't wax that with industrial size wax paper.
Good shit. All right, Tony Baloney will be back again in fine form as always. He's always riled up and ready to go. We love him. Great stuff, guys. Iceman dropping $4.99 in the super chat. Paul, next time we play Gears, you can be my spotter. Good show, guys. There you go. Great stuff.
What's up with all the hairy women freaking,
I don't know. I don't even know where that came. Yeah, a lot of hair. Oh, you know what? It probably started with the doctor with his hairy ass.
You got a hairy ass. We got head from a girl with a mustache. It sounds to me like trans aren't even trying anymore.
Apparently, you've never been to the Mediterranean.
I did a quick med run in the Navy, but it wasn't that long.
All right, we're going to do the final anagram. Let's check in with the people in the chat because we got to make sure our 4 finalists are here. I don't fail Pyromancer's here, so that's good. Is Sparhawk still in the chat? Sparhawk, if you're here, give me a thumbs up. We also need Timothy Dixon and Crazy Greek Dude. So we're waiting on those 3 guys. I just want to make sure they're here because I want to be ready for this. I want to make sure everybody is good to go because I'm not going to wait around all night. We got to end the show, and I want to give away a game. Percolator 9000 dropping another $5 in the super chat. Question: will Tony ever be happy? He's always mad. I don't know. Maybe he'll answer that next week. Or maybe
I can tell you right now, Percolator 9000, I know exactly who you are. And happy? This is happy. When you're Italian, this is happy. You know what? I talk to my wife all the time and she goes, stop yelling. I said, I'm not yelling. I'm just talking. That's how we talk. Ridiculous question.
I wonder if I'm part of now. My wife always tells me to stop yelling.
Yeah, we also talk with our hands, and that could be dangerous when you're holding a drink. So
that's exactly.
Hey, does that work as an excuse? Like, hey, I'm Italian. Maybe I'll start using that.
All I say, guys, the final anagram is in the chat, and all I'm going to say is it's Ubisoft related. See if you can guess what it is. You're going to have to kind of go back to the archives on this one a little bit. But it's Ubisoft related. I don't want to give away more than that. I want to make this one a little tough on you guys. We know Sparhawk is ready. Creek Dude is ready. Timothy Dixon is ready. Pyro is ready. So there you go, guys. Drop whoever gets this first answer right is going to win that copy of Immortals Phoenix Rising for the Xbox. I will be shipping it to you here in the next little bit. So yeah, I have it sitting right next to me here, courtesy of the fantastic panel at Gaming After Dark.
So
we want to give that.
So on these anagrams, you usually get something stuck in your head. So I got another one stuck in my head on this one.
Go ahead.
And it's ESPN the Ocho. I can't. That's the only thing I can see on this anagram.
ESPN the Ocho. Me, when I find out I'm 1% Italian, we get that in the chat. Everyone knows French women do not shave. Oh man, good stuff. So yeah, we're coming down to the end of the show. This has been another fire show tonight. Unbelievable. Had an absolute blast. I want to do more of these giveaways, guys, over the next while. And thanks to our you guys who are amazing in this chat. You make it possible by coming out here and tuning in every week, and of course the super chats and stuff. So it's only right to give back to the community that supports us and stuff like that. So thank you all from, like I said, from the bottom of our heart, guys. You're all fantastic. Infinite, what's going on, my brother? This chat's, like I said, I can't say it enough every week. I think we all echo that sentiment. A lot of the same names. We had some new faces in here tonight. It's good. Nobody's got this one yet, so they're struggling with this one. All right, I'm going to give you one final hint. It is a popular Ubisoft game. Start seeing if you can put it together. It's a popular Ubisoft game. Just think about it. Popular Ubisoft game. Rayman. Boy, Rayman's got a lot of letters on there. Well, I paid $80 Canadian for this Immortals game, so it's full price. Got the receipt to show you. Well, no, it's not Assassin's Creed. I don't see a whole lot of S's up there, Pyro. No. And we have it. We got a winner. Crazy Greek Dude gets it. Prince of Persia. Crazy
Wow.
Greek Dude gets the game. Congratulations, Crazy Greek Dude. You are the winner of Immortal Phoenix Rising. It's Killer Scorpion Siphon Filter. Congratulations, guys. Thank you all for playing. I thought this was pretty fun. Definitely challenging. We're going to do something more like that. I'll be talking to Titan and Middle Age Game. We're going to, keep switching it up and do some more great giveaways here in the future. It's good stuff indeed. So, Pyromancer, I saw Assassin's Creed. I don't know where you saw that, brother. Pretty funny. Good stuff, Matt. So congratulations, Crazy Greek Dude. You're the winner of that game. Well, Crazy, you follow me on Twitter, so I'll be sending you a message and I'll be giving you the details here real soon as to when you can get your copy of the game. And it is a physical copy, so I hope you still got a console that has a disc drive. There you go. Good stuff.
And if you don't, send it to me. No, I'm kidding.
There you go. I'm going to be getting you a game here sometime, I think, Paul. You definitely deserve one. Great stuff, guys. Yeah, well, let's get to the outros where all of our stuff is done for tonight. The game giveaway is done. There you go. So let's start with our guest tonight, Mr. Cerebral Paul. Brother, let people know where they can catch up with you, where they can, learn more about you and enjoy your witty sense of humor and stuff like that and everything else.
Wow, you call me witty. That's usually not the word that's put before my name.
What, it starts with an S normally? Is that
Yeah,
what you mean?
even my own family calls me an asshole most of the time, but but yeah, you can find me on Twitch as Cerebral Paul and Twitter Cerebral Paul 1 and on Xbox it's Cerebral Paul 921. All those numbers that I have to remember. And
that was his social insurance, by the way.
Yeah, on Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, you can find me on Midweek Gaming with Stubbs at I think it's 3 p.m. Central, and because he's based over in England, so I do it at their time. So
nice.
But if you watch my Twitter, I post it there, and then you can usually find me on Community Game Nights with Tushy and those guys on Saturday, and with Noof later Saturday.
That's right.
So basically, I'm all over the place. So there you go.
Well, glad to see you find a spot on a podcast with Stubbs and company. That is awesome, man. That's good on them for getting you in there. Let's get over to the panel. Let's start with the Mag.
Yes, well, guys, it was a great show as always. And chat, you guys were on fire as always. And you know what? We appreciate, honest to God, every single last one of you. And it's always amazing to come every week and do this show and just see all the names and the same names and everything else. It feels like we're all like one big Gaming After Dark family over here. So it's pretty awesome. And Paul, always a pleasure to be with you on the show, brother. Titan, Noof. Yes, you can find me here on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Gaming After Dark with these fine gentlemen here. On Monday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find me on Primetime Gaming with Mr. Boomstick XL and friends. And also, you could follow me on the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 under the name, of course, I am the Mag, all capitals, all one word. Yes. And guys, like I said, it was always a pleasure. Great time. Oh, and if anybody cares to know, I posted my first content creation earlier this week with it was a collaboration with Pulse Music Media. And what we did is I did like a little bit of a retrospective about music and gaming, where it started, like way back in the 70s all the way till now, and then actually followed up by an actual performance by my brother and my sister-in-law performing Ezio's theme from Assassin's Creed 2. So you could check out that link on my Twitter, or you could just check it out on Pulse Music Media on YouTube. So anyways, guys, great night. We'll see you guys all next week.
All right, and let's get over to last but not least, the man who brings a common back to sense, Titan Drago. Who gets your common back to sense award tonight, Titan?
Well, it was a great show, everyone. Lots of jokes, lots of laughs, and you know what? That's what you get here every single week. You know what? If you don't laugh watching this show, do me a favor. Check your pulse for me, okay? And also, while you're doing that, let's all be more like the Crazy Greek Dude, because when you can solve these anagram puzzles, you could play any co-op based puzzle game with me, buddy, while we bring the common back to sense.
There you go. And you know me, it's Noof Nukem. You can always find me in the gutter and right back here on Tuesday nights with these wacky lists of characters. We'll have another exciting guest again for you next week. It's going to be a great show. Just a reminder, like I said, make sure you check out Mr. Tushy. Like I said, community game night in UK. They start at, it would be 2 o'clock Mountain Time, which means it's 4 o'clock Eastern. That is coming up on Saturday. They got actually, they're doing one on Friday night as well. They're doing like I think it's a Forza thing or something. And then on Saturday, I think they're doing a big 100 player Fortnite. I think they're getting a server or some shit. They got a lot of stuff. So make sure you're following them on Twitter. They keep you updated, as well as Gaming Beyond the Box tomorrow night with Wilmy Hood and company with Fork Boy and those guys. They'll probably give you some details on the Halo tournament they're trying to organize. They're trying to encourage podcasters or podcast groups to form teams and kind of, like a camaraderie thing, have a bit of fun. So that's coming up, I think, in March. I can't remember the exact date. It looks like I think it's going to be Halo Master Chief Collection. Right now, as it looks, I think I might have pretty much my team on lock. Me and Titan are definitely in. Mag, I think, is in. And looks like we'll probably be having Iceman, who's in the chat, and potentially Steel Rain and Game Down Sites. I don't know how big the teams are, so I got to organize that. We got to get the dates all down, but hopefully we'll have a fantastic team regardless if those guys all end up joining us, and it'll just be a good time. Like I said, everybody's there, so great stuff there. But anyway, they'll have more details about that, and they've shared it. I think they've made a video on it already, so check out, like I said, Gaming Beyond the Box, Fork Boy, and all those guys, and they'll give you the details. Teams of 4, so okay, we might already have our teams essentially set, so we'll figure that out. But anyway, if you don't have a team, all I can tell you, like, they will put you in a team. So even if you're random, you're not on a podcast, they're encouraging everybody to play regardless. I don't even know what game modes they're going to do. Maybe it's a mix mash, but all that good stuff. And I think there's a little bit of prize money on the line as well, if I'm correct. But anyway, enough about that. Community game night, I'll be doing it this Saturday. And Iceman, you might want to check this one out, because this Saturday night, at least one of the games I've picked out so far is going to be Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, the remaster on the Xbox. So we're going to be doing that one on Saturday night, and then I'm going to pick another game after. I just haven't narrowed it down yet. Maybe I'll take some suggestions, but we're going to be doing community game again. That's Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. If you got that game, boot that one up. That game's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's what we're going to be starting out on Saturday. But that's about it, guys. The show is over. This has been a Dynamite One game giveaway. Tony Baloney in fine form, always riled up with a drink in hand. Arnold Schwarzenegger cutting him down tonight. And sounds like him and Noof Nukem might have a bit of an argument off the air. And the chat's been awesome, guys. You're fantastic. We'll catch you guys again same time next week, people. That's right. Just contact Fork Boy or Mr. Tushy to give you details. Later, Percolator. Later, Doggy Dog. Later, everybody. We'll catch you soon. Take care. Have a great night.
It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator.